Do not worry.
What up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new Do Not Worry stream. I'm going to cut to the cats before they run away. Joined by Maki and Nata, folks. Coming to you live from the heart of Lebanon in the 09 Zoom Keil, folks. How's it going, everybody? Look at them cats chilling. Maki's licking his left arm. He's not at the paw, you know what I mean? I guess the whole thing's a paw. And Nata just chilling there, contemplating her life. What does it all mean? Why are we here? What are we doing? What is our purpose? Who started, the Big Bang, but what came before the Big Bang? Who caused the Big Bang? You know? Who's going to answer all of those things? We can just ponder. We can but only ponder those questions together. Back to me, folks. What if I split screen? Oh, we can see me and the kitties. How about that? Let's do that for a second. Welcome, everyone. Welcome on this Monday night stream. T-minus 7 days to unemployment, folks. T-minus 7 days to unemployment and T-minus 1 day to pick up the new PC. Tomorrow I will be going to pick up my PC from Ayub Computers, folks. And you guys want to know something funny? I think one of the Ayub, it's not funny, it's actually kind of tragic, but one of the Ayub Computers branches got bombed by Israel in the war a few months ago. They have two other branches, so they got all their stock out, I think, in time. But, we're supporting, someone that was literally one of their stores was bombed by the IDF because they have, one of their flagship stores was in Dahya. So, going to be picking up my PC tomorrow. Going to try to set it up tomorrow, but tomorrow's live stream will most likely be Haley D has already gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Haley D. What a queen. We love you so much. 117 of you coming in to chill with us on this random Monday night. How's everyone doing? Tomorrow, picking up the brand new PC. Very excited about that. Don't know if I'm gonna have time to set it up, but I will try my best. It will definitely be ready on Wednesday. We're streaming tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is going to be our movie, Do Not Worry movie edition number 3. We're gonna be doing a Zionist celebrity tier list. Those ones are always fun. The Amy Schumers, the Noah Schnaps, the Quentin Tarantinos, the Tom Yorks. So there's going to be Nour and Karine and maybe someone else, maybe Elijah, maybe Nadim. I'm going to try to have 4 of us here and have a fun. And with a few other topics, a few other movie/TV topics sprinkled in there. So that'll be fun. That's happening tomorrow. Most likely with my laptop. Folks, my laptop has 8 gigs of RAM, okay? So that's why it's about to explode when I have OBS open and a bunch of tabs and all that shit. The PC that I'm getting tomorrow has 32 gigs of RAM. Can you imagine the smoothness that this show is going to zip and zap, zloop and floop. It's going to be nice, folks. It's going to be good. So that's happening this week. Thank you so much, by the way. And if you'd like to support me in getting this fucking PC, you can support us on Patreon, folks. Here's the link down below. You can find a tier that's right for you. You'd be supporting me. You'd be supporting the interns, making sure they can get paid. And this small, independent Lebanese YouTube channel that I guess almost got sued by Ethan Klein can survive, folks. And you can also obviously support the channel by becoming a member and supporting us right here on YouTube by gifting memberships, interacting in the live chat. But you guys don't have to do any of that to support us. It is more than enough to simply like the video, leave a comment, leave something in the live chat, subscribe to the channel, become a Do Not Warrior. We love you, folks. As I make this transition into full-time streamer, folks, I guess I'm already almost streaming full-time, 4 to 5 times a week, you know? That's a lot of streaming. 180 of you, folks. The world is burning. Iran just fired rockets at a U.S. military base in Qatar. It just happened 40 minutes ago or something. So we're going to just cover that just for a little bit, cover all our bases, and then we're going to get to a few other topics. What do I have planned for today? I'm a little bit disorganized. Excuse me, folks. It's been a long day, a long university in Dubai. By the way, let me thank some patrons, abductee patrons, brand new patrons that have joined us. Elise Marrero, Karen Goodwin, Vince Lazine, Jennifer Sage, Whoops, Kara, an unidentified Florida man. Also, I had in the live chat before we started, Eli Al-Mujabir, our God-tier patron, was saying that he misses the old show. Eli, tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing some fun crew talk with some fun movie talk. And now that I'm going to be streaming more, there's going to be more of everything. There's going to be some US and Westerner-based content, a lot of React content, some more old-school episodes of the podcast, a little bit of everything. And some gaming, too, with the PC. I also got shit to stream on my PlayStation. You know, this is going to be banging, folks. You guys are going to be sick of me. Give it a couple of months, you are going to hate me. You know what I mean? I used to do one episode of the podcast per week. That was it, one episode, about like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long. Now you're getting me for like 12 hours a week. You guys are all going to be sick of me. Sooner or later, you know what I mean? It is going to happen. And we got North Star Radio in the chat. W's in the chat for North Star Radio, who is going to be starting live streaming Monday, I think. When are you starting your live streaming, North Star Radio? Let us know in the live chat. When is your first live stream on Twitch? We're going to be tuning in, North Star, Comrade Casey, to your first live stream, inaugural live stream. We love our boy. So, getting back to, we're going to be talking about some Iran, some Qatar. Also, Mang0. Who the fuck is Mang0, folks? Twitter was all about Mang0 harassed women at a Ludwig stream. By the way, now that I'm getting into streaming, do I need to know all these characters? You know what I mean? Mang0. So we're going to cover the Mang0 situation. Never thought I'd say these fucking words. You know what I mean? We're going to look at some Mahmoud Khalil, just a little bit of updates. Hila Klein stories. Hila Klein, some weird Instagram stories, her and Ethan Klein. Just a little bit of that. And then we're going to react to Nour Samsen's video about, I guess, Hila. That's going to be exciting to see. Friend of the show, Nour Samsen, folks. And we're going to finally, it's like the third time I say I'm going to watch it. If we have time, we're going to be watching the Tucker Carlson versus Ted Cruz interview. I'm like a fucking week late. I don't care. I've been dying to watch this thing. North Star Radio says, I'll be live streaming tonight at 6 p.m. Central Time. Boys, we got, you guys are eating good today. 6 p.m. Central Time. What does that mean here? Let me see. Let me Google what time that would be here in Lebanon. Central Time. It's 1 p.m. Ooh, in 5 hours. I'm going to be asleep for that one. I'm probably going to be asleep for that one, Comrade Casey. But I will try my best. I will definitely watch the replay. Best of luck. Folks, whoever is here in this live chat who is going to be awake when Comrade Casey live streams, please let's go support our boy in the live chat and be as supportive as he has been to us on this channel. So let's be there for our boy, our comrade, and our brother in arms. Okay, folks, some quickity-quick Iran updates. Sorry. It's 1 p.m. Central Time. Iran. Breaking news, folks. Breaking news. Wait, let's get to the cats. Let's get the cats up in this footage. They hungry, folks. Let me try to I'll get a better angle for the cats later. Okay, folks. Here is some footage of Iran attacking American bases. So far, as far as I know, none of the rockets have actually landed. But, just the fact that they've attacked. Well, they're not attacking Qatar, but, the bases in Qatar, I'm sure the Qataris are not going to appreciate it. The Qataris, since it's called Qatar, the Qataris, they ain't going to appreciate having no rockets flying over their land. So, that's going to be, we're going to wait and see. And is Iran about to fire? Is Iran about to attack other bases? They're saying that the U.S. bases in Syria are shutting down bases in Iraq. Everyone's kind of panicking. Is the U.S. going to retaliate to that? Look, Iran is completely in the right to want to retaliate after what the U.S. just did by bombing 3 of their nuclear sites. Wait, let's. Oops, sorry, that's too loud. Oh, that's not the best footage here. This is much better. That's crazy, bro. I know war is horrible. I fucking hate war. War is scary. But these images are there's something extremely impressive. All these lights in the sky, and you got interceptor missiles taking them out. It's kind of it's scary. It's kind of awe-inspiring in bad ways, kind of in good ways. I'm watching it safely right here for me on a screen. But it kind of looks fucking cool, as just in a visual kind of way. Allahu Akbar. Harley's in the chat. Hey, Harley. Just some thoughts. I'm undercover. Oh, come. You tricked me. Hello, thank you so much for the donation, by the way. We love you so much. Welcome to the stream. So I mean that's kind of crazy. This is kind of insane. This is on me. This is the what kind of fucking planning? What do they have in mind, bro? They're literally starting fucking World War III. And this is like a view from the stadium. I mean, look, Qatar, bro. I have a lot of friends that live in Qatar is a very common place for like Lebanese people immigrate to. You know what I mean? Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. I have a lot of friends. You know what I mean? Like most of them at this point, half the people that I know have left Lebanon to work in one of these countries. So firing this many rockets over Qatar, even though they're aiming at U.S. base, you know what I mean? It is within their rights to do this. It is kind of insane that it's happening. You know what I mean? Like nowhere is safe. I saw a funny tweet on Twitter that my cousin actually tweeted out. He said like Lebanon is ironically the safest place in the Middle East right now. Let me try to show you my cousin's tweet. Let's promote my cousin for a second. Sorry. Oh fuck. Who dropped my phone? God, I don't know why did I panic so much and I dropped my phone? Boom. Oh, where is that? Where's that tweet? Where's that tweet? Where's that tweet? Oh, he's been tweeting a lot now that this happened. Okay, there we go. Weirdly enough, Lebanon is the safest place in the Middle East at the moment. Okay, let's watch an ABC News report on the attack.
Al Udeid Air Base is the largest U.S. air base in the Middle East, with 10,000 troops estimated to be stationed there. The base is also host to U.S. Central Command's regional headquarters and command facilities for special forces. The report comes after Qatari authorities temporarily suspended air traffic in the country's airspace. Let's go right to our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, in Tel Aviv. Ian, what do we know so far?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, in terms of facts, we know very little, but there are multiple...
Imagine being in Tel Aviv right now. Disgusting.
Reports out there. The facts are that Qatar closed its airspace. The facts are also that the U.S. Embassy advised U.S. citizens to stay indoors. There was also a warning to British citizens there as well. The UAE also reportedly closing its airspace amid the increased reports of a potential threat against the Al Udeid airbase. And as you say, this is the largest airbase.
Al Udeid Air Base. Well, I mean, if you work in the region, if you report in the region, shouldn't you kind of learn how to speak the language? You know what I mean? Enough with foreign correspondence. Let's just use local correspondence at this point. Actually, no. In this case, he's in Tel Aviv. None of that. Keep doing what you're doing, sir. God bless you.
For the Middle East in the region. It's important not just...
Oh, Haley D. I read somewhere you got a promotion. Haley D, folks. Congratulations in the chat for Haley D for getting... I can't scroll up that far, but I saw somewhere that you got a promotion. I'm seeing some congratulations. Everybody, let us congratulate. If you did get a promotion, Haley, congratulations. On behalf of myself, Maki, Nata, and everyone on the crew. I'll try to get a better view of Maki 1 second. Free Luigi, everybody. Free Luigi. Okay. There's Arabic lessons on Discord? Oh, that's fucking awesome. Okay, folks. Lots of things happening on Discord. Let's continue watching what ABC News has to say, folks. ABC News.
To house aircraft, but it's important because this is a command and control facility. It's where missions are controlled. I've been to Al Udeid in the past before and seen this huge control room where drones, aircraft are monitored and controlled. And it's possible that the attacks against Iran were orchestrated from here. We know that President Trump and the National Security Council are due to meet. They are also acutely aware of these threats. Our colleague Kira Phillips, quoting a defense...
I mean, I love how Trump, bombs Iran, bombs 3 nuclear sites, and then just like, now it's time for peace. Let's negotiate, Cool, bro.
Officials saying that they don't behave like this unless the threat itself is credible. We had multiple threats, multiple warnings from Iran that they would indeed retaliate to the US strikes on 3 nuclear facilities. The latest one came from the Iranian president probably only about 40 or 45 minutes ago. He's not a key decision maker. The Ayatollah is in normal circumstances, but these are abnormal circumstances. But again, warning that there would be retaliation. Remember, President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth have made it very clear that if there is any kind of retaliation from Iran, that would lead to an even greater response from the United States. But there is precedent.
They will nuke Iran out of existence.
Here. Remember the former head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Soleimani. He was assassinated back in 2020 under the first President Trump's first term in office.
If World War III were to start, if this really is the start of World War III, it does make sense that a little slimy little piece of shit like Benjamin Netanyahu would be the guy to start it. You know what I mean? Like when you look back at the annals of history, the annals of history, all these fucking Hitler, bro. You know what I mean? You could literally, I can imagine Benjamin Netanyahu just sitting side by side with a little Hitler, little statuette of all those fuckers that almost brought the world to an end. And would it shock you that it was Benjamin Netanyahu who started this whole thing? Wouldn't shock me.
I was in northern Iraq when Iran responded. They fired at US bases near where we were in Erbil in the north of the country. They fired at US bases elsewhere in the country and on the border near Syria as well. So they have form, if you like. Now, that was a calibrated response. It was one for Iran to say, look, we did respond, but no further. It allowed for a de-escalation. I'm not sure we're in the same territory right now, especially given the very specific threats.
De-escalation by escalation, folks. Let us bomb them so that we stop the bombing.
That the President Trump has made against any of what would happen in the eventuality of any retaliation. But the facts are there was this threat, there was airspace was closed, and the Israelis also monitoring the situation. There are reports, we have a colleague whose sister lives in Doha, reports of hearing explosions, but we're in this very...
Okay. Finally, on our Iran bombs U.S. base in Qatar tour, let's watch some Al Jazeera live, folks. Al Jazeera is killing it. They have 116,000 people watching live,
war,
folks. Let's see what Al Jazeera has to say.
2 years ago.
Boom.
Commensurate and proportionate with American.
Yo, that was a cool shot, bro.
Base that U.S.
Damn.
The biggest.
Bro, look at that. Okay, you can't tell me that's not cool. Okay, the war's fucked up. You know, whoa, huh. What is it? Oh, you know where I'm going with this, but like, look at this.
Base that the United States has. It is a base that can house up to 10,000 American soldiers. It's a self-contained city. And the Iranians had to make a statement commensurate and proportionate with American attack on their nuclear facilities. So it was really, in some ways, it was surprising.
Folks, I better react hard enough to this or else Al Jazeera is going to sue me.
Because Qatar is one of the very few friends that Iran has in the Arab world. But at the same time, it was not surprising in the sense that Al Udeid is really...
North Star Radio. Member of the channel. North Star Radio is a member, folks. North Star says it's cool because it's justice. Look, I mean, it is justice. You know what I mean? It is justice. Israel attacked Iran first. The U.S. has attacked Iran. Iran has a right to retaliate. Retaliation is ugly. They're attacking civilian locations in Israel. That sucks. That said, Israel has been attacking civilian locations in Gaza since October 8th. They have decimated Gaza. They have murdered over 200,000 civilians, at least. They've been murdering them daily as they wait for aid in lines right now. That's their new TikTok trend, folks. Let's murder Palestinians as they wait in line for aid. Isn't that cool? So, at the very least, it could be described as just getting a taste of their own medicine. You know what I mean? Hey, what can you do? You wanna fucking bomb other countries? It's the first time Israel kind of bullies someone that has the capability to respond. They fuck with Lebanon. Our army is horrible. We have a militia that has some rockets. You know, our militia, Hezbollah, fucking awesome on the ground. Guerrilla warfare, you can't touch them. You know what I mean? Hamas, they have a few measly rockets. On the ground, guerrilla warfare, can't touch them. They're fucking badass. But when it comes to you can't compete with Israeli jets and all that sort of thing, bro. But like Iran, bro, they got fucking stockpiles of rockets. stockpiles of that shit. It's a massive fucking country. 90 million civilians living there, bro. So what are you doing? You know what I mean? It ain't the same. It's not the same fucking thing. And for once, you know what I mean? The bully has bitten off more than he could chew. The bully thought they were going to slap Iran around. And look, Israel is still way more powerful overall militarily. They are way more capable. They have the backing of all of Europe, of the US. They could nuke Iran tomorrow if they wanted to, bro. Okay? But Iran is putting up one hell of a fucking fight. And even like myself, I was kind of a doomer like a few days ago. I was like, it ain't looking good for Iran. And I mean, ultimately, it's still not looking good. If Israel and the US achieve their goal of regime change, they could really destabilize the region. But Iran is putting up one hell of a fight. They're putting up one hell of a fight, and they're giving Israel a severe dose of their own medicine. And hey, you may celebrate that if you choose to. Let me check the super chats real quick. I saw Nick sends $10. Thank you, Nick. After reading about the history of Palestine, understanding Israel as a remnant of 1800s colonialism makes them starting World War III makes sense. Same sort of stuff that created the first two world wars. I hope how fucking crazy would it be, Nick? And Nick, thanks so much for the generous donation, by the way. How crazy would it be if we actually live to see this? And that's a very insightful comment. 400 of you guys chilling with us. Welcome to 400 of you. Let me go back to Al Jazeera as they do the hard work, and they sue me for stealing their content. According to, if Ethan Klein sets the precedent, folks, Al Jazeera's coming for my ass.
Symbolizes America's military presence here in the region.
As you say, Qatar is one of the few friends that Iran has in the Arab world. Qatar now saying it is within its rights to respond. But do you think we will see a response, and what form might that take?
Qatar wants to respond?
It would be interesting to see if there is a response, and if there is one, what form that takes. I think Qatar, of course, has to issue a statement like that, because it cannot appear as if it's silent in the face of violation of its
Sahtain Harley. Hope you enjoyed that dinner. Bon appetit.
Sovereignty. But let's remember that in 2020,
all right, I want W's in the chat and Iranian flags in the chat right now for North Star Radio with a $10 donation. Iran will win. Let's fucking go. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's have some fun over here, folks. Real quick to celebrate this super chat. You know where I'm going with this. Get ready, everybody. Get off your asses. Everybody get off your asses. You know what's coming. You know what time it is. Last time it started auto-playing the Mexican national anthem. Let's see what we get this time. Oh, we got it again. We got it again. Sorry to all my Mexican viewers. The algorithm did not favor you this time. No Mexican national anthem. ICE is coming for y'all. ICE is watching the stream, folks. We already know the IDF will do whatever it can to stop the stream, folks, by cutting our electricity, messing with my internet. And now, ICE is coming for all of us. Let's go back to Al Jazeera saying that Qatar might want to respond. Like, what the fuck is Qatar going to do? Qatar, enjoy your American money, okay? Just sit by the sidelines. You had nothing to do with this. Iran is just responding to the U.S. Killer Ken says, we ride at dawn. Fuck yeah, we do.
When Iran hit American bases in Iraq after the assassination of General Soleimani, they gave a 1 hour notice to the Iraqi government. And I would be extremely surprised if they did not give a similar warning to the Qatari government. particularly in light of the fact that about an hour before the attacks, Qatari airspace was closed. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a fair amount of choreography and coordination involved between Iran, Qatar, and even between Iran and the United States.
No, indeed, we were hearing from our correspondent that she believed that through back
Elab, stay tuned. We might play the Mexican national anthem later too. If y'all are good, okay, we'll hit it up with that Mexican anthem.
channels, US was also warned in advance of this strike. I suppose the big question now.
So if the US was
is
warned
less
in
about
advance,
how
this was
Qatar-
just for show. You know what I mean? They weren't intending to do any damage. This was kind of like when they attacked Israel a few months ago. You know what I mean? It was just like as a response, like, hey, if you want to fuck with us, we can respond, so stop fucking with us. This is a show of force. If that's the case, if they communicated it to the US, then the base was probably evacuated by that point. I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? How serious was this attack?
will respond, and more about how the US will
Does
respond.
Minnesota have an anthem?
What will be Trump's next move?
That's an excellent question. Again, in 2020, Trump held his fire when Iran attacked the U.S. bases in Iraq. The Iranians fully expected the United States to counterattack, and the U.S. did not. So we have to wait and see. Was this a one-off and we're done? Or is this the beginning of a vicious cycle of attacks and counterattacks between Iran?
I'm willing to bet, knowing Donald Trump and Marco Rubio and Pete Hegseth and the entire U.S. government, I have a feeling this is going to start a nasty cycle, bro. They're looking for reasons to drop more bombs on Iran. They're looking for reasons to manufacture more weapons, use those weapons so they can build more and sell more weapons. You don't start a war just to end it quickly. You know what I mean? Once the machine starts moving, once the war machine starts moving, once those weapons start coming off the assembly line, once those tanks start getting assembled, once those jets are being built, once those bombs are being put together, ain't nothing. You think this is going to stop in a week? You think this is going to end? That's it. This is going to be a long war. A long, long war. Or the regime change and it's over in a week. You know what I mean? What the fuck do I know? You know, apparently the Israelis are asking for this to end in like 2 weeks, but if the U.S. gets involved, if the U.S. get a little taste of that, you know what I mean? Weapons money. Aerospace. Hell yeah. Maria Nimes sends $2. Thank you so much, Marina. Says, "Kulluna lil watan." We've played the Lebanese national anthem, Marina. We will play. We need to do a whole national anthem live stream just for national anthems, folks. The national anthem. Marina, thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you. 2 weeks ago, I think it's been at this point. A little bit. Let's do 5 more minutes. I've cut that. Let's just see what this guy has to say, and then we'll move on, folks, to Mang0. Mang0.
The United States and then American bases across the region.
Okay, Mehran Kamrava for the moment. Many thanks indeed. We really appreciate you bringing your personal and professional expertise to this story here in Doha.
Let me switch to my contributors. Natamaki, what are your thoughts on the Iran situation attacking a U.S. base in Qatar? Okay. Maki, what about you? Okay, all right. Excellent.
Thank you.
Well, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps has released a statement following the attacks in Doha. It says it launched a powerful and devastating missile attack on the Al Udeid airbase in Qatar. This base, it says, serves as the command center of the U.S. Air Force and is the largest strategic asset of the American terrorist army in West Asia.
Beautiful. Okay, guys, let us move on, folks, to why you're all here. Someone's asking, did you miss? Who asked this? Did I miss the H3 segment? No, it's gonna be shorter than expected. I was gonna react. H3 talked about me on their last episode. I ain't even gonna react to that shit, folks. Who needs to give him the time of day? We got Nour Samsen talking about Eli. We got some H3. Oh fuck! Did I close the whole fucking thing? I did, didn't I? Okay, folks, just give me a second. Give me a moment now. Open up Firefox yet again. Open a whole new window, and let us begin with the mango. Okay, folks. I was cursed with this. If you guys haven't seen this on your timelines today, I'm sorry for bringing this to your attention. I didn't even know who the fuck these people are, bro, to be honest with you guys. I'm just some fucking random dude in Lebanon. I did not know that Mang0, Mang0, the Mario Kart champion, apparently. Oh, fuck. What is going on in this world, folks? And this is the world I'm jumping into. 10 toes down, folks. 10 toes deep. Okay, so I can't believe the guys... Like, what's funny about streamers, if they have, like, weird names, like, imagine having to call a guy Mang0. Like, you go out with Mang0 to the restaurant. You're like, hey, Mang0, what do you want? Do you want the chicken tenders, Mang0? I would not want to hang out with a guy called Mang0 out in public. Can I say that? My mantra is, what would Demi do? Demi should be hopefully coming on the stream sometime soon. I tried to get her on to hang out with me today. Demi, if you're watching, hello. Hello, baby. But I want to try to get Demi on the stream, folks, as often as I can. You know what I mean? Share some different perspectives. Where's my history at? I was watching some Mang0 videos earlier, folks, so I get all the details you guys need. Okay, Mang0. Fucking Mang0. And then, all right, Beirut cards. Okay, folks, so Mang0. Who is this character? What the fuck am I talking about? Let's get to it. On this lovely Monday night. So as I was scrolling, what's happening here? What's happening here? Firefox. They download Firefox, they say. I'm kidding. Okay, folks, so there we go. Smash Bros. Pro. Mang0 is under fire for harassing multiple streamers while drunk on Ludwig's stream. Okay, so there's already, this first sentence is already so charged. Smash Bros. Pro, Mang0. So I didn't know there were, like, I know that, like, look, I'm not 50 years old. I know there's pro, like, electronic esports, folks. Okay, I know a lot about esports. I know a lot about video games.
Sinner and everyone else after being told to stop, and then it got extremely uncomfortable for the streamers, and multiple clips getting shared over on Twitter and LSF after the situation on Ludwig's Reddit.
For failing me. But like a Mario Kart Pro, does someone actually go as a Mario Kart Pro? Is that a designation that people have? North Star says, funny how I have 2% the amount of subs, but get 50% the amount of views as the H3 podcast. They're farming our aura, Anthony. Well, I mean, North Star, your channel, like, I wish I had a bit of your channel's juice. You're doing so fucking well. We're so fucking happy for our brother, dude. Like, our comrade, folks, like, your video, your last one got, like, what, 100,000 views in one day? You know what I mean? Fucking awesome. I can't wait to see the stream. Excited to have something to watch tomorrow. As I set up my PC, I'm going to have comrade Casey stream in the background. So Smash Bros. Pro Mang0 under fire for harassing multiple streamers while drunk on Ludwig's stream. And Ludwig, I'll be honest, I have like I've seen some clips of this dude. I know he's dating QT Cinderella. Okay, I'll be honest. This might get some people mad, folks. I don't know much about Ludwig or QT Cinderella. The little bit I've seen of them online, they strike me as a little vanilla. I don't know much about them. I don't know the content that they make. Not for me. I'll say that. And I know they're like in Hassan's circle, all that sort of thing. I've just never really watched their stuff, okay? But like, we're gonna get a taste of Ludwig's event where Mang0 was hanging around. Mang0 the Menace. So Ludwig then says Mang0 is no longer invited to any of his events after making several people uncomfortable. Now this picture is fine, but like then for them to put this second photo, I was like, what the fuck is Mang0 doing, bro? What the fuck is this dude? Like, what is this photo, bro? What the fuck is this? This is so funny. Not funny, like what, like gross, like what the fuck is going on? Like not funny as in like, you know, it's definitely gross. Like look at his eyes, bro. Like Mang0 definitely up to no good. Mang0, what are you up to, Mang0? Why is your name Mang0, first of all? Are there mangoes in Mario Kart? I haven't played Mario Kart in a long time. Is like mango a fruit that you can throw is like a banana peel or something? Is there a mango power up? Is his head shaped like a mango? Is that what it is? What is the deal with Mang0? Anyway, so that was the first tweet. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what is it? Yeah, with Mang0 the Menace, Jordan M. So then, I see this clip. I'm like, what the fuck? So this clip comes out. Apparently there's more clips.
The stream, Mang0 says.
I tried, Mang0 says, okay, let's get this to work. Let's see what Mang0's up to. Let's see some of his shenanigans live on Ludwig's wholesome Super Mario Kart stream.
See, we're not drunk, guys. Yeah, we're not drunk. But Mang0 on the other hand. No. He's humping toes. No.
So okay, so like the harassment part, like I mean, look, he's humping a hat right next to these people. You know what I mean? Like he's being obnoxious. I don't know if this counts as like sexual harassment or anything like that. Like I don't think he's. I haven't. This is the only clip that I've seen. I don't think he's touched any of these people, but he's making them extremely uncomfortable, performing sexual acts around their vicinity. In this situation, really close to this person's fucking head. Like, bro, on camera. Like no one's asking for this. You know what I mean? It's kind of gross. Haley D sends $2 and says he was the first successful Mang0 brain transplant. Watching this, it kind of seems like that's what happened. So I hate the caption. What's the caption? Oh, yeah, it's crazy. The tweet. Yeah. So let's see what Mang0's up to.
End the stream. End it.
So he's saying end the stream.
End the stream, Mang0 says.
End the stream.
Is this what happens on Twitch, folks? Is this what I'm getting myself into? This live streaming business? Okay, as you guys know, unemployment in T-minus 7 days. I'm going to be doing this full time. Is this what I have to do now? Do I have to go to Mario Kart events and debase myself and get drunk with people called Mang0 and do this sort of shit? Because I ain't down for that, let me tell you. Do not invite me to this next event, Ludwig and QT Cinderella. I am not interested in hanging out with Mang0.
See, we're not drunk, guys. Yeah, we're not drunk. But Mang0 on the other hand.
Oh, he was humping her back? Did he actually make contact with her back?
No. He's humping toes. No.
End the stream. End it.
Okay. I was going to call him Toad. Mang0. I mean, mangoes are delicious. We can't argue that. Mangoes are fucking delicious. Okay, so then Ludwig clarifies that Mang0 is no longer invited to Ludwig's events. Now let's watch that clip. I can't read any sentences with the name Mang0 in there and take it seriously. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Not today, folks.
So I feel really bad about that. And
is he going to say Mang0?
I reached out to anyone who I felt might have felt uncomfortable and talked to them. But also, and I already told Mang0 this.
Mang0.
I'm no longer inviting Mang0 to Mogul Moves events.
It's over.
Because, it's a privilege to go to an event, man. Like, the whole point of an event is, it's a fun thing to do, have a good-ass time. And if somebody appearing jeopardizes...
Bro, come on. Is he sponsored by Red Bull? Does he seriously have, a Red Bull microphone? Come on, bro. Wouldn't it be weird if I had, Coca-Cola or something? I mean, BDS and stuff, whatever it is. Whatever. El Marai juice. Libis juice. Macau juice. Wouldn't it be weird if I had some kind of a juice brand or beverage brand or any kind of libation right here on this here microphone? You know what I mean? Cut to me in 2 weeks with a fucking sticker on my forehead. Buy El Marai juice. Deliciously fresh. Okay, back to Ludwig.
Somebody else having a good time, that just can't be a thing.
I'm okay with the Red Bull fridge in the back. Yeah, the Red Bull fridge is okay. You're sponsored. Have a chill little Red Bull fridge. That is a subtle. You got to be subtle with your sponsorships, folks, okay? I used to do content marketing in the back. You can't fucking beat people over the head with it. You know what I mean? I'm more likely to buy a Red Bull if I see it in the cool fridge in the back. Someone thirsty, one of his guests is like, yo, I'm thirsty. Yo, go grab a Red Bull from the fridge. Something like that. You know what I mean? Cracks open a cold can of Red Bull. God damn it, I can go for a Red Bull right about now. I just sold myself on a Red Bull. But having Red Bull plastered on your microphone, that's a little cheesy. Let me catch up with some super chats. Super chats. We got Haley D. Oh, thank you, Haley D. Alice sent 5 euros. I get pounds. Sorry, I keep getting confused between the euros and pounds. Thank you so much, Alice. I don't know how it happened, but I have 2 IRL friends called Mang0. So some of us are hanging out with guys called Mang0. How? Okay, Alice, you need to clarify. Are these nicknames? These are not real names. Why are they called Mang0? Are they the crazy drunks of the group? Are they eccentric in any way? Do they wear mango colored clothes? Do they like, what's up? You know what I mean? Are they fruity? And I don't mean it in that, just like, you know, I'm just fucking around. Fruity, folks. Anyways, back to Ludwig.
Now I see a lot of dialogue on like broader implications. I'm only worried about my team, my events. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't speak for the Melee community. I'm not like championing any other action. I'm.
What's the Melee community, folks? I don't know any of this shit. What are they talking about? And that event looked horrible. And I have some. So first, there's an article that apparently like Mang0 has alcohol problems, which is not funny. You know, this is when the story takes a dark turn, folks. I thought this was just Mang0 having a wild little old time, having fun, playing a little too much Mario Kart, and going a little too hard on the Mario Kart. You know what I mean? But apparently this has been a thing for a while. I don't know if this is that article, but let us... So this is according to Dexerto, folks, the greatest journalistic website. You know what I mean? The greatest news site on the planet. I'm saying that. They're an okay Twitter page, like, you know, streamer stuff, folks. I never thought I would have to even care. Mang0 vows to stop drinking immediately after Ludwig bans him from events. Now, obviously, folks, alcoholism, drug addiction, none of that is a laughing matter. So, I mean, you know, but like that photo, for example, like, you know what I mean? If you want us to feel sympathetic towards the guy, don't put this photo. Is this the one that we put in our thumbnail? Yep, that's the one. You see that this is good thumbnail material. Because I'm not trying to feel bad for Mang0 here, but I mean, this article should, because they're talking about his alcoholism. So anyways, Mang0 vows to stop drinking immediately after Ludwig bans him from events. Mang0, one of the most decorated Super Smash Bros. Melee players of all time, has vowed to stop drinking after being barred from Ludwig's events after going forward after he drunkenly harassed multiple women. Damn. Through his career, Mang0 has had a number of drunken incidents, with alcohol being a part of his stream identity. He's put on events like Drunk December. Ooh, that already sounds pretty bad. Like Drunk December, with streams focused on him getting as drunk as he can for the whole month, and has been banned from Twitch multiple times for being too intoxicated. Holy shit. You can do that on Twitch. You can just get like fucking plastered on Twitch, and like that's not like illegal or banned. That's so dangerous, isn't it? I mean, you can get a little bit, you can drink a little bit, but like getting fucking plastered, of course he should get banned for that. For his own fucking, not for me or not to like, oh, think of the children. It's for his own fucking health. You know what I mean? First and foremost, you can't be having someone doing self-harm on stream like that, at least. Is that a clip? No. Okay, it's an ad. However, things got taken too far when he was invited to Ludwig's Super Mario Kart. The objective is to try and keep a level head while consuming increasingly large amounts of alcohol. Wait a second. So the whole event is about drinking? The whole event is based around drinking alcohol? I'm sorry. This changes things, folks. What Mang0 did was gross, and we have another clip. I found another clip. What Mang0 did was gross, no doubt. But if the whole event is encouraging people to drink, you are putting people in a dangerous state of mind, and you're putting people in a situation where weird shit might fucking happen. And okay, you can say, well, control yourself when you're drunk. That's the point of drinking. Some people lose fucking control. Shit gets rowdy. Shit gets fucking weird. That's when like harassment happens and weird shit happens. Why are you like, why? Like, okay, it could be fun. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But like, don't start shitting on a guy for getting too drunk at the let's see if you can get drunk event. Like, you know what I mean? If the whole event is about drinking and seeing if you can hold your shit, okay, he didn't hold the shit. And like, don't invite an alcoholic to an event about getting, like, if the guy is known for getting wasted and getting banned off of Twitch for alcohol, like Ludwig, use that little brain of yours, my man. Use that brain of yours and don't invite him. Don't wait for this to happen. What the fuck is the stupidity? Meow says Mang0 notoriously gets sloshed. Exactly. If the dude is notorious for getting drunk, and this is a whole event about getting drunk, why are you surprised? Why are you banning the guy now? You shouldn't have invited him in the first place. Now you've made him embarrass himself on camera. You've put other people in the vicinity of his harassment and creepiness. And now the whole internet is dragging him, including myself for some reason. Mang0, I hope you get help, Mang0, okay? The Mario Kart world needs you, and the Mario Kart community needs you healthy. You can't be doing this. However, things got taken too far when you were invited, blah, blah, blah. By the end, Mang0 was so drunk that he wound up touching others inappropriately at the event, making streamers uncomfortable enough that Ludwig outright banned him from future events. Mang0 is reevaluating his relationship with alcohol. Though he'd won previous Berio Kart events, oh my god, Mang0 got knocked out early on this time around. Once he was knocked out, he began walking around and getting up close with several streamers in a manner that made them visibly uncomfortable. Extra Emily, okay, so that's the clip from Extra Emily. Streamer Maya was visibly uncomfortable with him making thrusting motions with his hips directly next to her head. Imagine writing this article, bro. Imagine writing this article and having to type the words, Mang0 was thrusting his hips next to Maya and made her uncomfortable. Jobs in 2025 have gotten pretty funny. You know what I mean? It's such a weird world we're living in. Anyways. He made thrusting motions toward other streamers like Cinna, Extra Emily, Ludwig, and was at one point humping a cardboard cutout of himself in the corner. Mang0 also has a wife and child. What? What? I was not prepared for that piece of information. I was not prepared for that piece of information. Mang0 also has a wife and child. We got a baby. We got a baby mama Mang0 and a baby Mang0. There's a mama, there's a Mrs. Mang0, and there's a baby Mang0. This could be made into a movie. This is like the thing in the studio. They're making the Kool-Aid movie. Let's make I demand the Mang0 movie. Mr. Mang0, Mrs. Mang0, and baby Mang0. The whole family. He has a wife and kid. Bro, this is a fucking plot twist. I did not see that coming. I was regretting. I'm like, is this a stupid topic to talk about? I mean, it is. But I'm glad I went on this adventure. We might not have time for the Tucker Carlson stuff, folks. I'm pretty fascinated about the Mang0 family situation. So Mang0 also has a wife and child, making viewers more confused by his actions toward the others at the end. He responded after clips of his actions that evening spread around, saying this. This is so fucking funny, bro. Don't like using the drunk excuse because it's childish, but in the moment, I think everyone is as drunk as me, and that's usually not the case. I will privately apologize to anyone I made uncomfortable and hope I'm forgiven. He followed this up with another statement claiming he'd take full responsibility for his actions, blah, blah, blah. Think like 99% of my problems always stem from drinking, so I'm going to reevaluate my relationship with alcohol, he claimed. I will accept any consequences that come my way. Well, for one, the first consequence is you are now no longer invited to these Berio. I mean, look, to be honest, if he's an alcoholic and then he's a recovering alcoholic, the worst place he can be is a place where people are consuming alcohol. So if there is another Berio event or whatever the fuck it's called, and he is now sobering up, he should never be invited, just for his own sake and safety. You know what I mean? You don't want to be an alcoholic surrounded by, or whatever kind of addict surrounded by the thing that you're trying to quit. You know what I mean? It's torture. I mean, look, good on him. I mean, we're having a laugh. We're having a laugh, okay? Just having a little laugh. We're having a laugh at Mang0, but Mang0, yeah, smoke weed. Someone is saying, Lady O is saying, Mang0 smoke weed. Mang0 weed is so much more like agreeable. You know what I mean? It's not healthy, but it's healthier for you. Healthier. And by the way, we don't smoke weed here in Lebanon, folks. If we smoke weed, we go to prison, folks. So let me make that very clear. I have never done anything like that. And by the way, we love our president, Joseph Aoun. Do not put us in prison, no matter what, President Joseph Aoun. W's in the chat for Lebanese President Joseph Aoun, and hearts. And Kat, welcome to the Do Not Warriors, folks. Welcome. Thank you for supporting the channel, Kat. We love you so much. Okay. Is there more? Sure enough, Ludwig spoke out on it, blah, 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 blah. Oh, so he tweeted something else. So one day after Ludwig announced that Mang0 had been barred from events, the Smash Pro confirmed he would be quitting alcohol. Ooh, there's an update. Feels like I let so many people down, talked to a few friends and just realized I have a problem. Everyone has coddled me for so long and kind of looked the other way when it came to my drinking. Don't want anyone to feel bad for me / defend me. Sorry to everyone. Let's see the whole tweet. Let's give Mang0 that chance, folks, and that respect to read his full tweet. Don't want anyone to feel bad for me / defend me. Sorry to everyone I've let down or hurt. I know it just looks like I'm trying to save face, but I genuinely feel so awful about it. All I've done is reflect on my life and realize I'm a broken human. Damn, that's kind of deep. I will try and redeem myself over time as I always do. Gonna stop drinking immediately and get it together. Sorry that I'm a fuck up, but I will and can be better. I know that it looks like I'm trying to save face, but I genuinely feel so awful about it. All I've done is reflect on my life and realized I'm a broken human. Look, I mean, for him to... I mean, look, I don't know what Mang0's done in the past. I don't want to speak on his character. I don't know what he's been accused of before. All I know of Mang0 is what I've seen today. Okay, and I will say, this is kind of sad, you know what I mean? Mang0, we wish you, the DNW family, the Do Not Worry family, and the Do Not Warriors all wish you a speedy recovery, Mang0. Alcohol fucking sucks. I barely drink, okay? I look for any excuse not to drink, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I used to pound the drinks back in the university days, okay? And I don't handle alcohol well. I throw up half the time I drink. I really don't like it, so don't fuck alcohol, you know what I mean? Good luck, Mang0. Hey, we wish you the best. But we're not done with the Mang0 saga, folks. Let's just take a quick look. There's a little bit more. So there's a little bit more footage of him fucking air humping the cardboard cutout version of himself.
Multiple clips are getting shared over on Twitter and LSF. After the situation on Ludwig's Reddit, people started calling for Ludwig to address the situation in the following post.
I say this as a woman who is a fan of Ludwig
Remember,
and watched
folks,
most of last night's event. Mang0 constantly...
There's a Mrs. Mang0 and a baby Mang0 waiting for Mr. Mang0 at home. Here's a little bit of extra footage.
Humping Maya, Extra Emily, Sinner and everyone else after being told to stop, and then it got extremely uncomfortable for the streamers, and multiple clips are getting shared over on Twitter and LSF. After the situation on Ludwig's Reddit, people started calling for Ludwig to address the situation in the following post.
I say this as a woman who is a fan of Ludwig and what...
Okay. Let me see if there are any more clips in this video. Oh, what's happening here?
Drunk or not, kinda speaks to a deeper issue there. You're not a teen. This is how you...
Not again! Jussie, don't say it, wait till next stream.
Oh, there he is in the back.
Imagine.
Oh shit, Mang0.
Imagine. It's nothing crazy. It's really nothing crazy.
Look again, like he's drunk. Oh no, Mang0 got drunk at the Let's Drink Copious Amounts of Alcohol event. Of course someone's gonna get drunk. You know what I'm saying?
Get out. All I got stuck in a time loop. Blah, blah, blah.
Is he like tackling the girl?
Aiden!
Is he like trying to tackle the lady? What the fuck?
Screaming?
Bitch, I'm just here talking in a time loop.
Why are you wishing him the best? He was being a sex pest on... I'm just seeing it now, Sam. I mean, he's being... If he's drunk, if he's an alcoholic and stuff, you know, maybe it's the alcohol making him do it. You gotta give people the benefit of the doubt.
Are you still streaming?
Bitch, I'm just here talking in a time loop.
You're still live?
Yes. Did you win?
How come we never get off our phones?
Bitch, I know. It's
How many people are watching?
I don't know.
You don't know?
17K.
Okay, everything besides this one is bad LOL
You guys
elements
might
there,
have
and I...
missed it. Let me play it again.
Aiden!
Are you still streaming?
Bitch, I'm... All I got stuck in a time loop.
Do people watch this? What the fuck is going on? Like, they're just being drunk on camera and like just slurring their words, reading the chat and like slurring. I sound like such a grandpa right now, guys. I am 34 years old, going on 35. But like, is this entertaining for people?
Not again. Jussie, don't say it, wait till next stream. Ah! Imagine. Ah! Imagine. It's nothing crazy.
Numpho says alcohol doesn't make you do anything. Well, it certainly doesn't help. I'll say that.
It's really nothing crazy. All I got stuck in a time loop. Blah, blah, blah. Today was fun. Aiden!
Bro, someone should have stepped in. Like, how did they let this happen, bro? This is like, this whole event is irresponsible. Like, I'm sorry, bro. You're putting people in a... And like the fact that it's like being streamed and shit online, I don't know. This is all degenerate behavior, folks. They've ruined the sanctity of Mario Kart.
Bitch, I'm just here talking in a time loop.
You're still live?
Yes. Did you win?
How come we never get off our phones?
Bitch, I know. It's
How many people are watching?
I don't know.
You don't know?
17K.
Okay, everything besides this one is...
More clips, folks.
A casualty, so be it.
Extra Emily drinks before driving, immediately swerves off the road.
Where's Mang0?
Oh my god, that was horrible. That was way too much fucking liquid, bro.
Okay, anyways, whatever, bro. I think they're done talking about Mang0. Anyways, one last thing related to the noxolotl. Sense too, I got it right. You tell him, Anthony, this shouldn't be fun, to be honest. I mean, it's just, look, it's boring for me to watch. I don't watch a lot of streamers anyways. You know, if I do, it's mainly like just chatting and stuff like that. Or IRL streams. When people travel and like walk around, that is usually fun. Like those are exciting because you feel like you're traveling right there. It's like a vlog, but like it's more real, it's more raw, less of the editing, less of that cheesy music when you see travel vlogs. So I like IRL streams when people travel. But thank you, Noxolotl. Let's just get an idea of that event. So this is Beirut Kart event, essentially. This is Ludwig's event, Beirut Kart World Cup. 5.5 hours, 614K views streamed 1 day ago. This is where this all happened. This is what everybody be doing.
Nothing to rush for. It's a long race. It's a long race here.
Whoops.
Chibley's actually really good.
Thanks again. These 8 gigs of RAM are going to become 32 gigs of RAM in the next couple days, folks. Picking up the new PC tomorrow, folks. Ow. Oh, hit my knee. Picking up that new bad boy tomorrow. Natuti, you good? Sorry, did I bother you? Oh, my God. Look at your little face. Precious little face. Is she sleepy, sleepy? It's rare to get both kitties together, folks. It's rare. The more I stream, I guess the less rare it's going to be. But, like, getting both of them chilling next to each other in such close proximity without them play fighting or whatever, you got to take it as you can get it. Okay. All right, fuck this. We don't have to watch this. This shit seems boring, and we've got a lot of other shit to get to. Oh, okay. Sorry, Ludwig. Let me just take a second. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Ooh, Sukkot and Spice sent $7 Canadian and say, keep up the great work. My favorite Phoenicians. Well, thank you so much, Sukkot and Spice. Very generous of you. Noxolotl sent another $2. Says, Cutie Cinderella had to address issues with Just the Minx. Yes, I do remember that. Just the Minx was part of Creator Clash 1. I do remember her having alcohol issues as well. I mean, hey, look, good for them for calling that stuff out. I'm kind of thirsty. Good for them for calling that stuff out, honestly. Drink good old H2. Everybody watching right now, drink some water. My mic's still not working. Nope. Did I ruin it? No. Folks, my mic. There I am, folks. There I am. Don't panic, folks. We have not been attacked. I was saying, if you have, you probably haven't drank enough water today, folks. You probably think, oh, no, you haven't. You haven't drank enough. Go grab a glass of water, okay? You got time. Let's wait till my electricity comes back. Grab a refreshment, folks. You gotta hydrate. You gotta consume that H2O. What do they say? How many liters per day? You know what I mean? Look at that, ruining Maki and Nata's sleep. Oh no, look, they look pretty happy. Oh, Nata's digging her face into the blankie. Okay. Okay, let me just set up the next topic. Let's see what to talk about, folks. I got a bunch of little things. Okay, so we're done with Mang0. Van Jones, no need. Okay. Mahmoud Khalil was let out of prison, folks. We don't need to watch that stuff here together. But what we can do is read a Dance Ultimate tweet. Let's do some of the H3 stuff really quickly. Some Hila Instagram stories that she shared, shit like that. And then some other cringy shit that I found. Let us do that, and then we will get to a couple of other segments. We're going to watch the Noah Samsen video, which should be exciting. It should be very excited. Sorry, guys. I know Sacha Baron Cohen. Ooh, Nour, add Sacha Baron Cohen to the Zionist list, and obviously Amy Schumer. Guys, tomorrow we are live streaming. I will be joined by the crew. We might have 3 people on the crew, so 4. We might be four of us tomorrow, counting down the best and worst Zionist celebrities in Hollywood, folks, from S to F. We're going to be ranking your favorites or least favorites or old favorites, people that we now have to hang our heads in shame as we watch on our small or big screens. It should be super fun, and join us in the live chat. That way, if we forget any names, you can throw some Zionist names at us. We'll discuss them. We'll have some fun. It's going to be a good time, so be here, be there, or be, you know what I'm going to say. So I'm not going to fucking say it. Alrighty. What am I doing? Okay, so look at Dan Saltman, folks. Out here. He's 45 years old, by the way. Keep in mind, this man is 45 years old, who I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, this fucking guy, Destiny's best friend, Sex Pestiny's best friend, and his co-host on his podcast, tweeted this out. Oh my God, Denims pulls back into the lead. 340K to go. What a nail biter. And he is comparing how much money, essentially, they've been raising on their GoFundMes. So he's got, Frogan, Denims has 27K raised. Frogan has 24K and Casey Tron has 8K. He's making it seem like a horse race. Like these women are racing against each other. Like, who's going to get more money to pay Ethan Klein? The way these people, this community, that whole community of people on YouTube and the internet have been like harassing these three women is totally disgusting, honestly. I saw a Casey Tron tweet that made me kind of sad, like just talking about like how she's just being attacked by all these incels and shit. Like it's nonstop. And I saw a clip of her live stream. It's just people in her chat that like, yo, settle. And like, bro, these people are fucking gross. And he then tweets, not looking too good for Frogan, who had a solid start, only with 2K raised in the last 24 hours. Casey Tron trails greatly behind with 300% less raised than the others. Like, I can't help but read it like a commentary guy who's like, who's a commentator for fucking horse races. And then you got Nate of the Living Dead says, if they settle, Ethan should require they give him all the money from the GoFundMe in cash. He should then open the show with all the cash stacked on his desk. And look how much of an ass licker this guy is, bro. This guy, by the way, who's now a sponsor of the H3 podcast, and this guy has like software that erases your internet history. And apparently, Puff Daddy, Diddy himself used that software. That's why they call him Diddy Dan. Disgusting. So he says, that's an absolute given. It's money received directly as a byproduct of the infringement. It's statutory damages plus actual damages plus disgorgement plus attorney fees plus speculative damage. How much would it have ranked in YouTube algorithm if views weren't stolen? Plus punitive damages. All of this, by the way. Again, Ethan Klein is a millionaire. His content nuke made him a lot of money. Whatever money that Frogan or Denims or whoever made by streaming that content nuke is negligible. If Ethan Klein were a small-time YouTuber who made this video that a bunch of big-time YouTubers reacted to and stole and took away all these potential views, and the guy, the little independent YouTuber with 10,000 subs ended up with like 20K views while these other massive YouTubers ended up with millions of views and they ended up raking in the cash, then I could be like, yeah, you know what? This person has a case or something like that, and if they made it explicit in their video that where they're like, we're doing this to like screw over this fucking small-time creator, in that case, you know what? Small-time creator, go fucking sue him or something. But for Ethan to literally do this when he did not lose out financially, his family is not struggling because a few people decided to live stream his content nuke, you know what I mean? He just hates these people. He hates these women. They're easy targets. They're easy targets for him to send his rabid incel fans to just constantly harass and attack. The same people that do it to Anissa and iDubbbz every day, they're the same ones that do it to Frogan every day. They're the same ones that are going to do it to Denims and to Casey Tron now on a daily basis. I mean, I get some harassment from them on Twitter, but not nearly as much because I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman. So I was going to say I'm not a fucking woman. In case you guys were wondering, I was going to say it, folks, in a complimentary way. Because I'm angry, folks, because I see all these tweets and I'm disgusted. Nick sends another $5. Thank you, Nick. And says, when did Ethan drop the lie about not being associated with Destiny? I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck Ethan's doing about that, to be honest with you, man. He's like, at this point, I mean, we're going to look at, like, nothing he says is consistent. And we're going to look at an example of that in a second. But that's why this is happening, and it's fucking gross. Let me try to find that Casey Tron tweet real quick because it was honestly kind of sad. Casey Tron. Sorry, I'm using one hand. Did I write that shit wrong, bro? Did Casey Tron disable her? Oh no, wait, no. Let me see if she disabled her Twitter. I don't think she did. Sorry, folks, just a second. Here, so you guys can see what I'm doing instead of just looking at me. La 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 la. Okay, no, that's Casey Tron. Okay, there it is. I mean, it's kind of funny. He says, don't ever let anyone dull your sparkle, little girls, as she smokes a fat joint. Even when it's powerful men who get litigious to evoke support from incel communities that love to humiliate women. This isn't about copyright. Big Mama's going through it. Send your energy. I mean, exactly. The way she says it, the way she words it is perfect. Even when it's powerful men who get litigious to evoke support from incel communities that love to humiliate women. This isn't about copyright. And by the way, H3 kept making the point that Hila was saying, like, 60%, most of our audience is women. We still have a women audience. When they were going through the ladies' GoFundMes, Frogan and Denim's GoFundMes, they were looking through like abusive comments and comments of people making fun of them. It was all men. It was all men leaving those fucking comments. You think there's probably some freak women and fans of H3 that are going to go in and do that. Of course, there's been a lot of examples. But the vast, vast majority of the people leaving these like abusive and like harassment comments are fucking dudes. Go look on Twitter, bro. They're mostly fucking guys. So for Ethan and Hila to play them like, oh, the majority of our fans are women. They would never harass these people. We clean our hand. We wash our hands off of this harassment that's happening when they are directly responsible for it. It's kind of insane. So yeah, that's the Casey Tron tweet. It's kind of sad. And she also shared, like, there was a link, a clip of her going viral. So Hila Klein shared this video to talk about their Instagram stories. Hila Klein a few days ago went on like a crazy rant of Instagram videos. She shared like a picture of an Israeli pilot, and she was like, IDF women pilots are heroes because women in Iran can fly planes, women in Israel can fly planes, while Iranians can't do anything and they have to cover their hair. All that Islamophobic kind of thing. Then she apologized for the tweet, etc. But she's been posting a lot of like cringy stuff about Israel on her Instagram, trying to humanize the Israelis, folks. You know what I mean? She never shared anything about the destruction in Gaza, the destruction that her own country is inflicting on these people. She was part of the IDF. You know what I mean? She probably has friends and family in the IDF that are bombing the shit out of Gaza right now. You know what I mean? She never shares anything about that. Would never. Why would she? But now that it's happening in Israel, of course she's going to talk about the destruction, of course. And look at this video that she shared right here. They bomb, we rebuild. They hate, we live. That's why we win. This is a destroyed home, a house that's destroyed. So they're showing you how resilient they are. Look. Oh, was I not showing you what was happening? Sorry, guys. Here. Let's do it again. They bomb, we rebuild, they hate, we live. That's why we win. And look, I'm not gonna lie, there's been a lot of videos like that have come out of Palestine, of like Palestinian women still in their kitchen. She's like insisting, like, I'm gonna cook, and like you pan over to the side and like a whole wall is missing. You know what I mean? When they were still building semi-standing, they've all been level to the ground. But like there's been a lot of videos that come out like that, you know what I mean, from Palestine. So this is now Israelis that are trying to like emulate, I guess. I mean, look, it's normal for them. It's hard for me. Look, they've done so much harm to Palestinians, and the fact that and normally you'd be like, well, Anthony, what does the population have to do with that? It's the government. But the problem is in Israel is that at least 85, like what was it, 81% of the population, when you count Arab Israelis and Palestinian Israelis or Palestinians in Israel, 81% of the people of Israel support what the IDF is doing in Gaza, or they don't think that the IDF is going far enough. And if you take out Palestinians from that equation, Palestinians that live in Israel, or Israeli Arabs, that number goes up to in the 90s. Oh, Nata's having a little nightmare, folks. She's shaking. Oh, her whole body was like, should I wake her up from a nightmare? Oh, Maki's up. Okay, they're good. So 90% of these people don't fucking think that what's happening in Gaza is a genocide. They don't disagree with what's happening. So, like, I'm sorry, bro. I see this. I'm glad they're alive, but, like, I don't feel bad for you or your house. And this is not, I don't feel any sympathy. You know? You're not the resilient people. The resilient people are you started the war with Iran. You got retaliated on lawfully because you started an illegal war, okay? Like, you bastards, okay? So again, I'm not going to feel any sympathy for you. You are not victims in this case. Actually, Israeli people are victims of Netanyahu, to be fair, but they're also, again, they all support the war with Iran, and they need to do it. You got Ethan and Hila. We need to bomb Iran. We need to bomb Iran. They're evil. They're the most evil people in the world. Fucking manufacturing consent to their dumbass audience. So, yeah. And let me show you guys an example of something, a similar example, but in Lebanon. A little bit different, a little bit more tragic. So when Israel was doing its... Oh, fuck, I done closed all of the tabs again, folks. One moment, please. When Israel was doing its bombing campaign in Lebanon, they destroyed a whole bunch of houses in the south, in South Lebanon. So here's a video of such a story with a piano, also involving a piano. And it directly came to mind after I saw this Israeli video, because it's like, who you guys trying to farm sympathy right now? Israelis, they talk about Iranians hitting their hospitals. Of course, hitting hospitals in a time of war is horrible. But, you know, who's the #1 perpetrator of bombing hospitals in the world? Israel, bro. They've bombed every single hospital in Gaza. So this is a video right here of Israelis in a house in South Lebanon. They've just destroyed the whole thing. Look at this. This viral video shared by Israeli troops shows them ransacking the house in southern Lebanon. I'm just gonna have to mute a little bit, and joking around with a destroyed piano. Because, you know, Iranians haven't tried to invade Iran. They're not in Iran. Iranians haven't tried to invade Israel. They're not in Israel. They're just sending rockets from afar as a response to what Israel has done. Right here, you got Israelis invading Lebanon, entering our sovereign land, entering people's homes and ransacking them. So then someone recognized that video that the Israelis shared. The owner of that piano that they were playing, Julia Ali, the piano's owner, saw the video on social media and later shared a recording she made last year in the same spot. This is their family home that was destroyed by the idea. So at least that Israeli man can still play his piano in his home because his home is still standing. At least that Israeli man didn't have Israeli soldiers, Iranian soldiers in his home, ransacking his piano. What if it was his family piano or whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe it's been in his family for generations. Julia's home is in the Lebanese village of Khiyam on the border with Israel. Since the 23rd of September, Israel has bombed thousands of homes across Lebanon, killing over 2,000 people. So here's just a small example. So this is why I have a hard time feeling bad for those Israelis. Before we get to this video, let me just get to a few more of their Instagram stories that they shared because they are kind of insane. Here are, and Ethan Klein actually shared one too. So this is Hila Klein sharing this, and she deleted them. Now I saw this on Twitter. I didn't see these stories for myself. I don't know if they were actually shared, but a lot of people on Twitter did screenshot this, so it seems that Hila did share this. After the U.S. bombed Iran's 3 nuclear sites, Hila Klein shared a Donald J. Trump tweet, folks. She literally shared the Donald Trump tweet where he says, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There's not another military in the world that could have done this." I'm not going to do the whole thing. Now's the time for peace. I had to do it for that one, folks. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So imagine liberal, Kamala Harris loving Hila Trump, folks, Hila Klein sharing a Donald Trump fucking story on her fucking Instagram, folks. You know, deleted it right away because she felt stupid doing it, I guess. But like, look at this. Isn't this fucked? Then she shared this. Breaking news. The U.S. conducted airstrikes on the Iranian regime's nuclear facilities in Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Also deleted this right away. So, bro, you got these war-hungry, bro, warmongers, like, not warmongers, like warhawks, her and her husband, bro, like getting on their podcast. And they only talked about it once because they know they're going to eat more shit online if they talk about war with Iran. Even Republicans don't want this fucking war with Iran. Like, you know what I mean? No one wants to get involved with this war. Most Republicans, at least. So, I think they're like even ashamed to talk about it. But like, can you imagine Ethan and Hila being like, Iran is evil, you have to bomb them, this is justified, and now they want the U.S. to get involved. They want the U.S. to bomb Iran. Not only were they okay with Israel bombing Iran and starting a war with Iran, and then they want us to feel pity for the Israelis when they get bombed, for a war that they started. You know what I mean? And then they're happy when the U.S. gets involved. A war that no one fucking wants. Trump even ran, okay, I mean, he did say he hated Iran and he wanted to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons, but he kept running on no Middle East wars, no Middle East wars, no foreign wars we don't need to be in, no foreign wars we don't need to be in, and boom, a couple months in, 3 months in, he's going to war with Iran on the behest of Israel. So, yeah, that's funny. Vincent Balenheit says, MAGA, brought to you by Teddy Fresh. And then Ethan Klein shared this story. So Ethan Klein apparently is not a Zahran Mamdani fan, folks. Ethan Klein, what is he? Andrew Cuomo fan, apparently. He shared this from the H3 subreddit. And again, look what a great community the H3 subreddit is. They all hate Zahran Mamdani. So it's a choice to campaign with a guy who said America deserved 9/11 and fucking NYC. And it's a photo of Zahran with Hassan Piker. So now Ethan does not like Zahran Mamdani. That's why if he were to live in New York, his vote would go to Andrew Cuomo, the sex pest. I'm guessing, folks. Don't sue me, Ethan Klein. So that's fucking crazy. And finally, Hila shared this other video that I want to talk about on her Instagram to try to humanize Israelis. And by the way, the title is Goodbye H3s because H3 is going on vacation for 2 weeks, folks. They're going to be away. They're going to be suing people. Am I even allowed to still react to H3 videos? Do I still want to react to H3 and risk litigation? I still am. Whenever it's relevant, we are going to talk about H3. When they come back, I was also going to react to their video talking about me, but I don't feel like it because I couldn't find the clip from my podcast that clarified it. I didn't have time to prepare. Anyways, here's some Israelis living life, being attacked by Iran, attacks that they very much asked for. So let's see how they're coping. This is Hila trying to humanize Israelis. Let's see Israelis living everyday life, folks.
I want to show you all Israeli resilience. Okay, this is Avi is literally playing Sheish Beish. This is Nabiuna. The window is literally...
Okay. Dub says, did you watch the Legal Mindset YouTube channel? It's not looking good for Denims, Frogan, and Caseytron. I'll try to watch that, actually. Legal Mindset YouTube channel. I'll write that down, and I'll try to watch it. One second. Let me write that down, actually. Legal Mindset YouTube. Legal Mindset YouTube. Legal Mindset YouTube. How's everybody doing? We'll restart this video, don't worry. Okay. That's done. Back to the video.
I want to show you all Israeli resilience. Okay, this is Avi is literally playing Sheish Beish. This is Nabiuna. The window is literally like busted. The blast site is yonder. Look, glass. Israelis just chilling. More glass. Not a care in the world. This blast happened last night already. Workers were like 24/7.
Let me be honest with you guys. Zone the fuck out. Looking at my phone. We're gonna rewatch those 20 seconds. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to rewatch the Zionists for 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
I want to show you all Israeli resilience. Okay, this is Avi is literally playing Sheish Beish.
Sheish Beish. Okay, Avi. Hey, Avi. Avi looks like a fucking douche, by the way. And Sheish Beish in Lebanon, if it's the same game, is called Taule. Another thing they fucking stole. Okay, they steal our fucking games, folks. I mean, everyone has these games like backgammon and all that shit. I know. I'm fucking around. But in Lebanon, we call it Taule. Hey, guys, Avi's playing Sheish Beish. Look, we're just normal. Hey, Avi, have you served in the IDF? Yes, I've killed 12 children in my first assignment. I was shipped over to Gaza, and I killed 12 little children. They were begging for their lives. Anyways, you want to play a second game of Sheish Beish with me right now? You know what I mean? Hey, waiter, can I get an extra hummus with my Sheish Beish? Hey, you want to see a picture of the 12 kids that I killed? I took a photo of all of their faces. I keep an album hidden in my hidden folder on my iPhone, full of children. That way my girlfriend cannot see it when I'm asleep. How fucked is that shit, folks?
This is Nabiuna. The window is literally like busted. The blast site is yonder. Look, glass. Israelis just chilling. More glass.
I wake up in the middle of the night screaming their names. Those 12 kids that I tortured and destroyed. And my girlfriend wonders, what is going on? What is it? Legal Mindset is misogynistic, allegedly. Listen, folks, I almost watched some Channel 5 and I ate some shit in the comments. So if he's a misogynist, then we're not going to watch Legal Mindset. I don't want to get in no trouble. back to this.
Not a care in the world. This blast happened last night already. Workers were like 24/7 fixing the damage, making sure people had enough food, enough water, equipment. And
you guys have access to food and water? That's nice. You guys hear that? They have access to food and water over in Israel when they get bombed. That's kind of dope. That's pretty cool. Would have been nice if Palestinians had access to that, but hey.
And this is it. And I think that's the balance that I always try to strike on my page, the fact that I'm still trying to be resilient and optimistic, but at the same time recognizing the tragedy, and that's Israeli resilience. We continue, we move on, we drink coffee, and we just go about our lives because every day is danger here.
Where are you from? You don't sound like you're from the area. You know what I mean? Where are you from, lady? I mean, you might say, Anthony, you sound American. Why are you commenting on her accent? Well, yes, I am an American citizen. I have an American passport. I've lived in the States for a little while. But you know what? I'm also Lebanese, and I didn't steal anyone's home to come live in my own country of Lebanon. You know what I mean? There wasn't another indigenous person living here that I shoved out of the way and stole their land. You know what I mean? I'm here in my hometown. I speak English. Cool. A lot of us do. But why is she speaking English? Where's she from? She from like New Jersey? Where's she from? Is she from Colorado? Where's she coming from? You know what I'm saying?
So what, are we gonna stop living? So a reminder that the blast literally struck a gay bar.
They struck the gay bar, folks. They have to remind us that there's gay bars in Israel. That's why we need to bomb Iran and Hamas, because there's no gay bars over there.
Are we gonna stop living? So a reminder that the blast literally struck a gay bar.
The blast literally struck a gay bar, which makes it literally worse than if it had struck any other kind of bar. Literally. All right. All right.
So if you see TikToks of Israelis like going about their day, posting them smiling, drinking coffee, it's not because we don't care. It's not because we're not in shelters at 4 a.m. It's because that's how we live, that's how we exist. Am Yisrael Chai, forever we continue.
Israelis, folks. Doesn't she look Israeli? You know what I mean? Coming all the way from the Middle East, local lady. So this is Hila Klein literally shared this on her stories. Anyways, goodbye H3. We're not going to be talking about H3 for the next 2 weeks. As long as they're on vacation, what's the need to talk about them? We'll take a little break as well. We'll experiment with some new fun content in the meantime. And I think Ethan's going to react to like old iDubbbz videos. Who gives a shit, bro? Stuff that iDubbbz has already apologized for. Stuff that iDubbbz has already taken back. Things that iDubbbz has said, you know what? I've grown. This old content of mine is disgusting. I'm ashamed of it. And Ethan wants to react to it now and call him out. It's like, okay, bro, what the fuck are we doing here? Anyways, with all that down, folks, let's do the Nour Samsen video because it's a little bit shorter. You know what I mean? It's like, it's 28 minutes or something. And then once we're done with the Nour Samsen video, I want to fucking watch that Tucker Carlson versus Ted Cruz interview. It is finally time. It's finally time.
Guys, okay, listen. The H3 podcast.
Friend of the show, Nour Samsen, folks, we made an appearance on like day 6 or day 7 of his marathon live stream. That was super fun. We're going to put the playback speed at 1.25. Excuse me, guys, I'm burping. Got some gas. Friend of the show, Nour Samsen, with his lovely haircut. Thank you so much. We're very thankful for Nour to having us on. You know, anything we can do to help raise more money is great. Anything we can do. I mean, Noah's lawsuit hasn't come in yet, but I'm guessing Ethan is working on it. You know what I mean? And it's going to be another thing that he drops and farms for content. Don't forget Ethan Klein's lawsuits, folks, are content farming. You know what I mean? Now he's going to use all of these ladies' reactions as content. Whatever they talk about on their streams, it's content. People harassing them on their streams is content. Him keeping up with their GoFundMes, that's content to these fucking freaks. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad I'm on this side of the battle. Can you imagine me being on the side of Ethan and Asmongold and XQC and Sam fucking Hyde and like, ew, bro, ew. Oh my God, bro. Like, shit. It's an easy grift over there. You know what I mean? You could fucking, I feel like you can get to 100K subs just by saying, hey, fuck iDubbbz. iDubbbz is a cook. Automatic 100K, I feel. You know what I mean? I chose a hard path, folks. But hey. Together we shall do it. Anyways, folks, this is Nour Samsen's video. Let me just minimize it real quick. How to girl boss a genocide. It's at 448K views, published 3 days ago. Subscribe to our boy Nour Samsen. I'm sure most of you have already seen this. I'm new. I've not seen it yet. I've been waiting to watch it on stream, so I'm a little bit late. Let's go.
Guys, okay, listen. The H3 podcast, they're up to no good once again. They're doing more of that stuff that we've seen. Hila Klein, co-host of the H3 podcast, wife to friend of the show, Ethan Klein.
It's not a threat. I'm going to sue you.
She's posted on Instagram stories praising the IDF. Yep. Hila Klein, to her 775,000 followers, reposted an image from an Israeli propaganda account that shows a female Israeli Air Force pilot. Hila adds the caption, female pilot who participated in the attack in Iran. Israeli women are heroes. This post is, for a variety of reasons, absolutely batshit insane. Israel, as many of you surely know, is committing a genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza. There's no real debate on what's happening there. It's a genocide. The United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch.
Nour Samsen, please do not sue me for not reacting hard enough to this video. I will explicitly state that I am not making this video to siphon viewers away from Nour Samsen to this video so we can make profits and steal Nour Samsen's potential profits, okay? We are here. We are doing this legally. Nour Samsen is a friend of the show. As far as I know, please, Nour Samsen, please do not sue me, okay? Sue Nour and sue the cats instead. Nata and Maki are overdue for a lawsuit.
Israeli human rights groups like B'Tselem, 15 out of 17 of the judges at the International Court of Justice, they ruled that Israel is committing a plausible case of genocide. That was over a year and a half ago, and Israel has only escalated its mass killing, starvation, and destruction. There's lots of ways that this is facilitated, violent mass slaughter, deliberate civilian targeting. Israel's killed tens, probably hundreds of thousands of Palestinian people, including tens of thousands of children. It consists of the use of starvation as a weapon of war. Gaza is a concentration camp with Israel controlling everything that comes in and out, and they're currently using that control to completely block any humanitarian aid from entering the strip. Starvation and disease are widespread. Children, babies, starving to death. They're also not letting medical supplies, things like medication and anesthesia, so thousands of children are undergoing amputations with no anesthetic. And one of the primary tools of this genocidal arsenal is Israel's Air Force. The aerial bombings are what have made Gaza look like this. All of the schools, hospitals, mosques, water treatment plants, everything meant to provide the basic necessities for life in Gaza, including housing itself. Over 90% of the residential buildings have been completely destroyed. That's the Air Force. That's Hila's heroes. Now, admittedly, the pilot in this image wasn't killing civilians in Gaza, at least not on this particular mission. She was killing or participating in the killing of civilians in Iran. Israel recently started a war with...
Yeah, but Noah, you're forgetting the fact that the war with Iran is completely justified. You know what I mean? Because Iran, according to Ethan and Hila, is evil. They are the ultimate evil, and they are the cause for all of the evil in the region. They are the cause for the destabilization of the region, and they, you know what I mean, are a valid military target. You're so mistaken, Noah.
With Iran in an unprovoked act of aggression on false pretenses that Iran was on the verge of developing nuclear weapons. This is a claim that's been made by Israel and many Western countries for decades, as we'll look at. But for now, the point is that this wasn't some cool, heroic mission that this pilot was on. It was an unjustified escalation and unprovoked act of violence against a country of 90 million people. Hila got some backlash for this post, understandably, praising the warmongering genocide army will do that. So she made a follow-up story doing what she claims is apologizing for what she said. She wrote, "I would like to apologize for my recent story reshare."
Most backhanded apology of all time. You know what I mean? It's an apology while sneaking in a not so subtle insult to Iranian women, to Islam in general. And again, you don't have to like Islam, you don't have to like Iran's government, you don't have to like any of those things, but it doesn't give any country the right to go bomb the shit out of another country unless like said country is like committing a genocide against its own people, and it becomes a humanitarian issue to step in. Like the genocides in Myanmar and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like there are situations where governments should step in and try to help. This is literally just warmongering.
About the female Israeli pilot being a hero. It came off as glorifying violence, which wasn't my intention. I understand that's how it came off. I wanted to highlight the difference between women's lack of rights under the Ayatollah and women in Israel being given agency to even fight in combat. That being said, it's not the best timing or situation to make such a point. War is terrible and should never be glorified, and I'm very sorry for the post. Despite Hila's use of the word, this isn't an apology, it's a justification. Even though I didn't mention it at all or even allude to it, this post was actually about feminism. It was about women's rights in Iran and how I care about them, which is why I support them being bombed, apparently. If that is what she meant by her post and just completely failed to
support women in the Middle East, then support bombing them and killing their children and maiming them and killing them potentially.
communicated. It's not like that's any better, right? That's just girl boss imperialism. When Israeli women participate in Israel's violent lunacy all across the Middle East, bombing Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and now Iran, they're actually doing feminism. This image comes to mind. I'm sure you've seen it. It's pretty much exactly like this image. This is Parnia Abbasi. She was a 23-year-old artist from Tehran. Israel killed her in these attacks, possibly the very attack that this girl pilot participated in. Is that feminism? Was the idea of liberating this young woman from the clutches of the Ayatollah? No, of course not. That's insane. But according to Hila Klein, they kind of were. You know, there's nothing in her apology that indicates otherwise. Vague condemnations of violence and war while praising the aggressors is not an apology. It's lip service. Hila's use of the word agency is interesting here too, I think, for a few reasons. If this is what agency is, you know, the right to participate in unprovoked acts of aggression and also genocide, then yes, that...
I mean, I wouldn't even call it agency. They're forced to join the military. Is it really agency if someone forces you to do something? When the government forces you to join the military, is that seen as like, well, this person really took a lot of initiative right there, huh? He joined the military. Yeah, because he was fucking forced to. You know what I mean? Those fucking freaks have to join the fucking military, bro. So it ain't showing that much agency. Oh, little Natuti's making a little position change. Oh, sweet little baby. Sweet little baby. Yeah, I don't know what kind of fucking agency they're talking about, bro.
That agency should be revoked, not just from the women, but from everyone, because genocide and unprovoked military aggressions that kill civilians tend to infringe upon the agency of others by killing them, you know, and their families and destroying their lives. So if Iranian women do not have the agency to do that, then that is a good thing, because no one should. Calling it agency is also interesting when we consider that, you know, Hila served in the IDF. The IDF, according to her own husband, is a terrorist organization.
So you think the IDF is a terror organization?
I said yes.
And so naturally there has to be some...
That was the only good thing to come out of that fucking debate. The only good thing to come out of that fucking debate was Ethan admitting that the IDF are terrorists. Like that was, you know what I mean? 6 fucking hours, however fucking long that thing was, 4 hours or 5 hours. It was worth it just for that. Jesus, Nola Magnolia with 500 Egyptian pounds. Thank you so much, Nola. That's so fucking generous. Today was difficult and it is far from over. I opened YouTube with one thought. I hope DNW is live. Shukran. Awi Bigad. I mean, Nola, I hope nothing's too bad. Thank you so much for the generous donation, Nola. We're happy to have you here. I hope everything's okay. We hope. Damn, it's far from over. Well, I mean, I hope. Look, we've been streaming already for an hour and 30 minutes. So if you've just joined the live, and if we end, this is going to go for about another hour and a half. But if we end the live, you have another hour and a half to go back to. And there's tons of content on the channel for you to catch up on. Everybody send your love and wishes to our Egyptian sister, Nola Magnolia. Ahlanis, as someone said as Maria Nimes said in the chat. We love you, Nola. Thank you so much for the generous donation, which is going to go directly into the PC that is going to be installed in the next 2 days. Thank you so much. If anyone is sick, if anyone's not feeling well, Salimat Albon, Salimat Albik, we hope you're doing great, Nola. And thank you for being with us.
Some excuse for her time in this service, and the excuse they use that is often repeated is that Israel has mandatory conscription.
Hila was doing mandatory military service. What should she have done?
Hila had no other choice. It was the law. She was just following orders. She had no agency, let's say. Now, this isn't exactly true, right? Because you can dodge...
See, great minds think alike, folks. Great minds think alike.
Service in the IDF with things like conscientious objection or medical exemption. The latter is what Ethan did or tried to do apparently, and the former, well, nobody in Israel really does that aside from like 10 people because most of them support the genocide, but you can do it, right? Now, Hila didn't, but even still, she did have some agency in the IDF, according to her.
Oh, I'm in a Willy Mac video. Oh, I just saw the chat, folks. I'm sorry. Willy Mac talked about me. In what video? Let's see. Ethan Klein just ended Hassan's career. 200K views 3 days ago. Oh, I'm in a Willy Mac video. But you guys are saying I shouldn't address it? I mean, I'm curious to watch it, but like, what is he saying in there? What does he say in the Willy Mac video? Willy Mac. You're in, Nour is sending me messages. Sorry, let's keep this going.
Her when she got bored of her desk job, she requested a transfer and ended up participating in at least one IDF raid on the illegally occupied West Bank in Ramallah, which they refer to as a terrorist city.
At first, I was given a role that was like in an office somewhat close to my house in Tel Aviv, and it was super boring and I really hated it. So I tried to change.
Also, guys, Nour has come up with a fantastic idea. We're going to do a national anthems tier list. since we've been starting some of our episodes with the Iranian national anthem, some of you have been, we accidentally played the Mexican one as well. We're going to do a whole episode about national anthems. We're going to listen to, well, not all of them. I mean, most of them, the major ones. But we're going to pick the greatest national anthems and do a fun stream. That'll be fun. We'll listen to a bunch of nice music. You know what I mean? We'll be music critics. A little bit of culture, a bit of history. Histories of other countries. Okay, let's see. All Willy Mac videos are the same. I don't know. Just did he talk about me a lot? He's a slop farmer who needs attention to live. I'm on Willy Mac's agenda, though. I'm on Willy Mac's radar, folks. How fucking fantastic is that? Okay, yeah, the Soviet one is pretty fucking nice, isn't it?
My role, I somehow ended up in a better place that I liked a lot more. It was kind of like just more of an adventure, more of a different experience that I preferred than to just go to a boring job.
You told me once you went on like a mission with them to like a terrorist city.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy story.
Yeah, my officers and like the soldiers in
we've seen this clip over 1 million times at this point, so I got nothing to add. Terrorist city. You went to the terrorist city. Oh yes, I want to rid of the family.
That brigade, they would go every night on a raid in Armada to arrest terrorists. So one time I wanted to go with them just to experience it.
Why? You just were all of a sudden had an urge to go with them?
I just wanted to see what it's like.
Right.
I wanted to see it. They took me with them one night, even though they weren't supposed to.
Did they arrest anyone that night?
They did.
Did they bring it in the same car with you?
No.
Oh,
You
different
go,
car.
there's a few cars going.
Damn, that's crazy.
The specifics of this crime have been left vague, but if it
You go, there's a few cars going.
Damn, that's crazy.
The specifics of this crime have been left vague, but if it was anything like what these raids usually entail, Hila is probably a war criminal. I mean, the West Bank is illegally occupied land, and raids like this are in violation of international law inherently. So that's agency, right? But agency for what? Well, helping kidnap Palestinians from their homes in illegally occupied land. This is just liberal feminist language being weaponized for imperial aims. It's kind of like the argument that, Israel is a bastion of progressivism and gay rights. Hamas throws gay people off of roofs. Why do leftists support them? This is just a moral justification, and a very racist one at that, for liberating queer Palestinians from Hamas.
But this haircut weirdly looks decent. You know what I mean? It really doesn't look bad at all, man. This guy can rock anything, dude.
By killing them. There's a more subtle thing going on in these posts that I also want to talk about that relates to the broader media ecosystem on the issue of Israel's attacks on Iran, manufacturing consent. We had to bring it up. Shout out, my boy. Notice the language in Hila's post. She refers to Israel's strikes sort of vaguely as violence that's an aspect of war. This language is representative of a wider phenomenon in Western media, which is just normalizing Israel's crimes. Hila calls it violence, but it's not just violence, right? It's an unprovoked act of aggression from a genocidal state. It's not just war that's happening. Whatever Iran is doing now with its weaponry is responsive. It is in retaliation for Israel's unprovoked attacks. Israel's act of aggression was once again being framed as a defensive act of war. That's what Hila's doing in this post, and that's what a lot of people did in the Western news media, as well as most Western governments, including obviously hundreds of American politicians. One way that helps me compare this sort of media coverage is with Ground News, the sponsor of today's video. Ground News is a website that allows you to compare coverage of stories from different media outlets. You can sort the stories by the political leanings of the outlets and apply filters for things like factuality ratings and ownership information. If we filter this story by political perspective, center and right-leaning outlets were more likely to frame the strikes as being preemptive, signaling a sort of moral pretext for the attack, implying the existence of an imminent threat from Iran. Headlines from this perspective also often cited Israel's stated military objectives, leaving out the effect that these attacks had on Iranian civilians. Left-leaning
Bro, even left-leaning outlets are also pushing for the war. Have a clip of like Van Jones. Let me see if I still have it on this document. Van Jones from CNN. I mean, he's a fucking idiot. But like, there's a bunch of footage of Van Jones. I have it on Twitter here. Let me get that shit. Van Jones fucking justifying war with Iran, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Isn't that fucking crazy? Let me get that little old clip of Van Jones. Come on. My 4G, my phone's 4G internet is going as fast as it can, folks. It's going as fast as it can. I had the link for this ready earlier. To be fair, I just deleted it because I was like, I'm not going to watch this on this stream. Who needs this clip? And now here I am, like a dog, looking through my Twitter DMs to fucking find it. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? God damn, is it even here now? Can't even find it anymore. Oh, actually, you know what I can do? I can just undo the deleting. I'm so stupid. There we go. Boom. Found it. Let's go. Okay, just see how long this all takes to get ready, folks. This is what 8 gigs of RAM gets you on a MacBook Air M1. CNN's Van Jones urges progressives to get on board with bombing Iran. That's fun. This is don't forget, guys. This is a legit Democrat. This guy.
I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is. Iran is not a normal country.
Oh, no.
Normal country.
It's not a normal country, folks. Well, am I watching the H3 podcast? I'm confused.
Don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround the country and fire rockets and rape people. So.
Oh, that's what they do. They train. So Hezbollah, Hamas, all of these proxies, they're just there to fire rockets and rape people. Watch out, everybody. The resistance is here. You're about to get raped. Okay, shit.
Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question...
What do they say that should offend you?
Jews. One of those, they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you.
I mean, look, death to the Jews in this case is the most offensive, I would say. Death to Israel, death to America. They don't mean it literally, bro. You know what I mean? But like, they're like, hey, screw these countries. Curse ye. Curse ye. That's what they're saying. Death to America, death to Israel. It's just basically people doing this with their fists. Like, death to America. That's what it means. They're not going to actually fucking do it, bro. Death to the Jews is anti-Semitic. That's kind of racist.
And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up? Or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. I was in the region.
Get on board, folks. Progressives. Hey, all you Bernie voters, all you Zohran Mamdani fans, you better get on board with this bombing Iran shit. You know what I mean? When we say jump, you say how, baby.
You are in the region. This is a very dangerous power that cannot get a nuclear weapon.
So there's an example, you know what I mean, of liberal media pushing for this shit to happen.
Outlets were more likely to call Israel's strikes escalatory and focus on the humanitarian consequences, with references to civilian casualties. Some also cautioned the negative effect the attacks had on ongoing diplomacy. Thanks to Ground News for the help on that. Go to ground.news/Noah for access to all of these tools and to stay fully informed. Save 40% off through my link for unlimited access to the Vantage plan. All right, so back to Hila's post. So even her last statement that war is terrible and shouldn't be glorified, that's not necessarily true, right? Like, no one has a problem glorifying the people who fought the Nazis. The issue is when you start glorifying the Nazis, and that's what this post is doing. Israel is Nazi Germany, and the IDF are the Nazi soldiers. That's the comparison you get to make when you commit genocides on ethnic supremacist, expansionist, and colonial grounds, because that was the Nazis' whole thing, right? Despite the mountains of evidence to the contrary, Western media outlets still overwhelmingly refer to Israel's genocide as a war against Hamas. But it's not a war, and it's not...
It's a conflict. It's a dispute.
Against Hamas. Obviously, it is an extermination against the Palestinian people of Gaza. And calling it a war, using that word, is one method of obfuscating that reality. Depending on the person doing it, it happens for different reasons, to be sure. Some people do it because that's their job. They have been and continue to be mouthpieces for the Western imperial agenda. Others do it because they have fallen victim to this sort of propaganda. It seems pretty hard to argue that that makes up a majority of people now, that people are just unaware and brainwashed given the 2 straight years of live-streamed genocide that we've all seen on our phones. But I also think that we do sometimes underestimate just how little of this coverage makes it to the average Westerner, and just how strong the media apparatus manufacturing consent for it is. But others still do this manufacturing consent because they fundamentally believe that what Israel is doing is just. And that's what Hila thinks. Given her non-apology here for calling the genocidal military heroic, and her repeated examples of running cover for the IDF, saying they don't target children.
You're excusing people being burned alive and kids being murdered. You're saying Israel does that on the daily. Now, I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. So are you in favor
saying they don't target?
Boom. Also, what a classic. That's a classic clip right there. I'm denying that. They don't burn people on the daily. Ethan back then could at least admit it. I really wish I could just see the conversation between Ethan and Hila at home after he got back from the Hassan debate and called IDF terrorists. I just want to see that conversation.
Journalists.
I can't get any security assurances against Israel, obviously.
Well, bro, it's not like Israel.
That is worried
Look,
about.
it's not like Israel's going to do a precision strike on Hassan. They don't fucking.
Yeah,
but it is dangerous. It's a war zone. Like I agree, it's dangerous.
Sure, it's a war zone. I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
They're not. It's not. Regardless,
Israel
I agree.
Doesn't work like that. I mean, she doesn't even believe it as she says it. Look at her face, bro. She's not even saying it with.
I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work like that.
Look at that's not the face of someone who.
I agree, it's dangerous.
Sure, it's a war zone. I don't think you guys understand Israel. It doesn't work.
This is not the face of a woman that is convinced of what she's saying.
Like that.
They're not. It's not. Regardless, I agree. It's dangerous, right?
Yeah.
It's dangerous in a war zone, right? Not because Israel will like target him.
Calling one of the primary architects of the genocide a good guy, and then issuing another similar non-apology for that. We'll get.
Keeker Garden Sailor Moon sends $5 and says, "My heart can't handle watching the upcoming part where little Samir talks about her brother Hamza again. Gonna take a break. Bon courage, everyone." Oh, is that coming up here? That's gonna be sad as fuck. Thank you so much.
Just the other day, BB fired a really good guy that a lot of people are pissed about. And he
again, folks, the classic, the greatest, the most damning of all clips, perhaps. Clipped by your boy. We're always gonna celebrate that. Happy clipping, folks. The greatest clip. Who remember? She literally drove her off the podcast for like a month, folks. I drove Hila Klein off the podcast for like a month. You guys are welcome. I wish it was longer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I failed you guys.
fired him because they had a disagreement.
Whatever the cause of this may be, though, the effect is the same, which is that people are being sold a moral justification for an ongoing genocide, and many of them are buying it. Israel is the aggressor. You know, in the case of these strikes especially, Hila's language falls in line with the broader Western political and media consensus. Israel's strikes are being justified as a preemptive act of self-defense against the existential threat of Iran acquiring WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. And we've heard all of this before. This was the pretext that the US government fabricated for the invasion of Iraq, in which the US military ended up killing hundreds of thousands of people. We now, for the most part, look back on the Iraq War as a mistake, for varying reasons, of course. You know, many in the US cite the loss of, American soldiers. Sometimes that's the only thing they cite, and not the hundreds of thousands of civilians, some estimates upward of 1 million. But the same attitudes and justifications that were used then are being used right now for Israel's attacks on Iran, which were undertaken, of course, with US support.
Whatever you think about Israel, Iran is bad or worse. They are the fucking evil. They are the evil fucking. They're the reason for all this bullshit.
This is like a 12-year-old trying to justify war. They're evil. They're the evil. If you think Israel's bad, Iran is the evil. They're the evil war. Why? Can you say why? The Muslims, Islam, Islamists.
Mm-hmm. Like Hamas, Hezbollah, Houthis, they're all attacking under the direction of Iran. They're all being these jihadists, fucking Islamists, like mega, like these ultra, I don't know how to say it, militant, super religious zealots, right? This is all coming from Iran under their direction.
Iran is evil. They are terrorist jihadists. They are Islamic-style bad guys. These people would have cheered on the Iraq War, no question, just as they've run cover for Israel during the past 2 years of genocide. And in both cases, they will act as if they didn't do that, but they did. You
see, they might. I mean, I'm sure in the past, Ethan wouldn't have been pro the Iraq War. I think today, if the U.S. was trying to involve itself in another war, I think actually Ethan and Hila would have been like, actually, we're against this war. The U.S. shouldn't get themselves involved. But because it's Israel, they have to do the whole mental gymnastics, folks. That's it. It's everything. It's every day on the podcast for Ethan and Hila. The mental gymnastics of trying to convince the world that they're not fucking crazy Zionists when they're out there supporting Israel for what they're doing. And now they're saying that they have to bomb Iran because Iran is evil. You just have to say this crazy shit, and you have to believe it in order to say it at this point.
Also been hearing the same thing about Iran for decades, both Israel and the United States.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything,
nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
The non-apology in this second post reminds me of that time that Hila Klein non-apologized for referring to Yoav Gallant as a good guy, Yoav Gallant being Israel's former Minister of Defense and one of the primary architects of Israel's genocide.
Just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy that a lot of people are...
Clip makes another appearance, bro. This clip makes another appearance. I'm kind of curious, should I kind of do want to watch that Willy Mack video. Maybe I can make a stream out of it, like responding to Willy Mack. I'll try to watch a little bit of it in my free time, see if it's worth talking about.
pissed about, and he fired him because they had a disagreement, and that's like so Trump coded.
Well, he was like a moderating voice in the war room.
Yeah.
Whenever this instance gets brought up, Ethan and Hila claim that she apologized for this, but that's not true. This is what she actually said.
I feel like the reason I brought it up was mainly to express the frustration with Bibi and him firing the one guy that was somewhat, attempting at moderation. It wasn't really so much to say Gallant is a good guy. I shouldn't have used that word. That was a bad choice on my part, considering stuff that he has said that I was not even thinking of. That was not a good choice of words, and I would not have said that again.
So I shouldn't have used that word is not an apology, it's lip service. There's no way to spin Yoav Gallant as being...
Not only did I get Hila off the podcast for a month, I got them to do a whole apology video, folks. That was, you know what I mean? The shitty lighting in the basement.
Being a moderating voice when he quite literally did the genocide. You can't paint him in any sort of contrast to Netanyahu when the two of them were holding hands together as they slaughtered tens of thousands of innocent people. The articles that they cited to prove this point do not show him to be some kind of anti-war figure. They show him to be declaring their genocide a victory. It was never we've gone too far, it was mission accomplished. And the protests around that time had nothing to do with ending the war, they had everything to do with bringing the hostages back. What happens after that, Israelis couldn't give less of a fuck about. As poll after poll has shown, they either do not care about or openly support.
We literally talked about all of this on this stream, folks. We visited all the greatest hits today, folks. All the greatest hits.
The genocide and ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. So unless such an apology comes with, I was wrong, Yoav Gallant is not a moderating voice, he literally did the genocide, then once again, it's just lip service. There's an organization called Breaking the Silence that's IDF veterans that whistleblow and provide details about their time in service. This organization has produced some pretty harrowing stuff. I mean, obviously, it's the Israeli military we're talking about. I'd rather have my house destroyed than see it in the state we're leaving it in. There were children in almost all the houses we were in. We knew it for sure because you could see children's clothes. It bothered me because they drew really sexual things, nudity, and it felt messed up to me. You get the area and clear it. We finish a place and a few days later, we're in the next place. It started with the houses that overlooked the border. In the end, the neighborhood was no longer standing. We essentially created a sterile strip where once there used to be fields, groves, all kinds of things, nothing. Sterile. I got the impression that every house...
Damn, bro. Yeah, they routinely, even when they bomb Lebanon and they bomb South Lebanon, they make sure to use like white phosphorus, which is illegal. They burn fields, they burn olive fields, they burn olive trees, and they make sure to ruin the soil and ruin the land so that you can't even grow crops on it for like years and years and years. So like in their mind, it's like, if we can't have your land, you can't have it too. If we can't grow crops on your land, you can't grow crops on your land. That's how they punish people. And yeah, they just decimate things. Even if it doesn't benefit their own interests, just to make sure that the Palestinians suffer, they will ruin the soil, they will ruin the land, and then they're going to move there on that shitty land and that shitty soil that they created. They're so fucking stupid, bro. Fucking Israelis, dude.
We passed on our way got hit by a shell, and houses farther away too. It was methodical. There was no threat. It's called retaining tension. That is, keeping Hamas unsure about when exactly we will be going in so that they are constantly thinking that we might be about to go in. It's called softening targets, and it's done also to clear a range for advancing. What this means in practice is that shells are being fired all the time. Details like this provide quite a bit of insight, into what's actually happening there. If you're someone that's been following the footage of like every hour when an apartment building is blown up and thinking to yourself, what could ever possibly be the justification for that? Well, it's because stuff like this. Bombing for the sake of bombing. Killing people for the sake of killing people. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, according to the H3 Wikipedia, Hila Klein served in the IDF around 2005 in the Duchefat Battalion. That's where she was transferred when she participated in the illegal raid. I found a testimony on Breaking the Silence from that very same battalion and in that same time frame and the same area of Ramallah. Sometimes there were detained Palestinians waiting at our post. One of the detainees...
Or if she started to serve in 2005, Israel's war on Lebanon was in 2006. I wonder if Hila had any part in the 2006 war with Hezbollah.
Was cuffed with a zip tie and blindfolded. This was at a moment that there were no commanders at the post, so one soldier decided to go in.
Sorry.
outside and beat him up, just like that. The person walked in, shut the door behind him. Yes, there was almost nobody outside. At some stage, he gave up. I don't know, he didn't beat him up for too long, but let's say that if I had said to him, why are you beating him up? What are you doing? He would have continued hitting him. It was better to just shut up and wait for him to finish, and that's it. Hila has never publicly revealed any of the specific details about her time helping illegally raid and illegally kidnap a Palestinian man in the illegally occupied West Bank, but she should, because this is the sort of thing that her terrorist organization was and still are getting up to. If she truly is sorry for glorifying the IDF, as she claims in her post, then she should help the world by telling the truth about what she saw and did when she was a part of this, beyond the vague details she's already provided. She won't do that, of course, because she doesn't regret her time there and does believe that this genocidal army is heroic and has consistently denied their role in the intentional mass slaughter of Palestinians, journalists, and so on. But someday she may try to pretend that she doesn't. So feel free to refer back to this series of clips when that happens. Hashtag Hila break the silence. Let's get that viral trending. Israel's actions against Iran have been taking up quite a bit of media coverage and turning what little attention remained on Gaza away from it and on to, the...
And yeah, that's also a thing. Like the timing on the Iran thing just so happened to happen while they're going like full fucking... It's not like it was already a full genocide, but like now they're literally shooting these people while waiting for aid. You know what I mean? And it was starting to get a lot of attention that they're fucking starving these people to death. Let's go bomb Iran. Now everyone's talking about Iran. No one's talking about Gaza anymore.
Sirens in Israel. This was certainly a part of the calculus for what Israel is now doing in Gaza, in some ways the most horrific acts of depravity we've seen yet. I'm talking about the death trap massacres.
What to fear more, bullets or hunger? Under fire yet again, crowds of desperate Palestinians waiting in the hope of collecting food from the new Israeli-backed aid scheme. 20 people were killed here in southern Gaza by Israeli soldiers today, according to local officials. Others managed to grab something to take home to their families. Hundreds of people are now said to have been gunned down in repeated incidents around the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation sites in the few weeks they've been operating.
These massacres are being facilitated by the IDF and the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is an organization devised by Israel and backed by the US and denounced by every long-standing humanitarian aid organization that has operated in Gaza, who are all still being completely barred from entry. This organization, with Israeli and US help, is facilitating the use of starvation as a weapon of war. They're setting up so-called aid distribution centers in strategic military positions in the south to drive large crowds of starving Palestinians into cages for bags of flour that are a tiny fraction of what is actually needed to keep Palestinians in Gaza from starving to death, and they are then opening fire on them with guns, drones, and tank shelling. The footage from these massacres is some of the craziest shit I have ever seen. They're just straight up doing a death camp live on 4K video. There's so much footage of starving Palestinian people running for their lives to escape Israeli fire after running for their lives for a tiny shred of hope that they'll be able to get some flour so they don't starve to death. Flour that Israel is barring them from getting any other way. Israel has killed countless people, including many children. 50 people were killed yesterday. Dozens are being killed every single day.
It's fucked. I saw another piece of footage, man. It's on Twitter somewhere. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like all these people just like hiding behind rocks, and they're like, and one of the dudes is fucking joking. That's how you know Arabs and their fucking sense of humor in the worst of times never ceases to impress me.
حمزة كان كويس معي كثير بده يجيب مساعدات كنا بدنا ناكل في جينا ولا حاجة لو راح لو متصاب جبناه على المستشفى استشهد اليوم
The pretext for these massacres is, you guessed it, it's Hamas, a claim which you probably also guessed is meritless. Netanyahu recently just admitted to backing the ISIS-linked criminal...
Madness Arcade sends $5. Thank you, Madness Arcade. New song called America the Beautiful from indie singer Jenny Baker. Please react to it on stream. Music Madness is a little bit tricky because we've been getting a lot of copyright stuff on music. But if you're into music, Madness Arcade, and I know you are, tune in to our national anthem tier list that we're going to be doing next week. This week, tomorrow, we're doing the Zionist Hollywood celebrity tier list. And next week, what are the greatest national anthems in the world, folks? We're gonna rank them right here on the Do Not Worry podcast, folks. We have the answer. Only we have that answer.
Gangs in Gaza that have repeatedly looted aid operations under the protection of the IDF. This has been reported for well over a year now, but Netanyahu just straight up admitted to it a few weeks ago. This didn't stop Ethan Klein from quoting the organization that's facilitating these massacres to, attack a streamer that he doesn't like. Yes, he actually shared this post. It's direct propaganda from the genocidal state, and it's death trap massacre committing orchestration. Stalwart ally to the Palestinian cause, by the way. Israel's backing of these groups has been dubbed Operation Total Madness, as what we are seeing now.
Ethan has become such a villain, bro. It's really unbelievable. Now, and with the lawsuits and just him relishing and watching these women getting harassed online. It's quite insane.
Now is the final stage of Israel's final solution to the Gaza problem. Drive everyone out of Gaza and kill anyone that's left. So the reason people are making memes and jokes about World War III and not talking about this, one of the greatest crimes of our age that's being broadcast on social media every single day, is because that's exactly what Israel and the United States want us to be doing. So stop. Okay, so anyways, that's it for the video today. Just a short one. Real quick, a question some of you might have right now is, why are we still talking about these people? Can we be done? And I get it, and I partially agree, but also, I didn't realize that this podcast is like a very highly ranked in terms of viewership podcast. I think at one point it was a top 100 podcast. So when they spread propaganda like this, just openly glorifying a genocidal nation during its genocidal assault on Palestinian people in Gaza, that makes them one of the largest mouthpieces for this genocide propaganda, like on the internet. And on Instagram too, where this post came from, where they do much of this sort of propaganda and also just general run-of-the-mill Zionist whining. Ethan and Hila have a collective millions of followers, hundreds of times my own reach on there. So I think that alone is a good enough reason to keep covering what they say, especially when it's this blatant. Like, come on, you're going to try and say you're a Palestinian advocate while glorifying the IDF. Like, they just can't help themselves. It's crazy. But I do think it's best to do that in a context of the broader issues. So when they post glorifying the IDF, we simply use that to get the news out about what the IDF is doing currently in Iran and in Gaza. When they deny Israeli apartheid, we simply use that to talk about Israeli apartheid. When they deny Israel's killing of journalists, we can...
Also because he's suing you, bro, so get at it, bro. You know what I mean? He's fucking suing him, so make Ethan videos so you can pay for his lawsuit using fucking Ethan Klein. It's only fucking fair at this point, to be honest with you, bro. Fuck him.
Talk about that. Or when they call Yoav Gallant a good guy, we use that to talk about Yoav Gallant and how defending a genocidal war criminal doesn't just get canceled out by saying that you're not doing that. So keep posting about it.
But I mean, ultimately, he's right. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this. You know what? Like, not just because I was an H3 fan and I was disappointed in what happened to the podcast that I loved for so many years and supported. But they do have a massive audience, and a young audience, and an impressionable audience, and an uneducated audience when it comes to the genocide. So for a lot of them, this genocide and this everything starting October 7th is the first they've ever engaged with Israel and Palestine and that whole thing. So to a lot of them, what Ethan and Hila said, and because Hila is from Israel, she's like, I'm from the area, I know what's happening. They take her as like an authority on what is actually happening in the region, and they believe them. So Noah's right.
Make a video about this post. Add your own commentary about what you think is important politically about what's happening right now. You'll get views. Call it grifting all you want. More views means more people learn about the genocide and are then equipped with the information and arguments to teach other people about it. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Join my Patreon if you want to support the show, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Boom. You guys know we love us from Shark Tank over here. Y'all know we love us from Shark Tank over here. Okay, so that's Nour Samsen. That was pretty good. Friend of the show, Nour Samsen. Go to his channel, like the video. Give us some support. Well, it's finally time, folks. It's the third live stream where I've tried to watch this. Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz, folks. Senator Ted Cruz talking about Iran. You all saw the viral clip of him asking Ted Cruz if he knows how many people live in Iran, etc. I'm fucking dying to watch that shit. I've been wanting to watch that stuff for a minute now, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. You guys ready? You guys ready? Exciting. Has anyone not seen this? Has anyone not seen this interview? Or like, has anyone watched it? I kind of want to get a snack, folks. I kind of want to get a snack, but if I leave, the cats are going to follow me. Fuck it, no snack.
Senator, thank you very much for spending the time to...
So Tucker confronts Ted Cruz on his support for regime change in Iran. So this is 2 hours long. Jesus. Okay, we're not going to do the whole fucking thing, obviously. Oi. That is fucking long, yo.
Have this conversation. It's good to be with you. So you've come out for regime change in Iran, as distinct just from taking out the nuclear sites. What does regime change look like in Iran?
Somebody else in charge.
How do you get there?
Look, that ultimately has to be a popular uprising from the people. And
that's so dismissive, like a whole country of 92 million people. Thousands of years of fucking culture and music and everything, bro. Just somebody else in charge. Okay, Ted fucking Cruz. Senator Ted Cruz from what, fucking Texas, bro? Senator Ted Cruz from Texas has the answer for Iran, apparently. Cool.
As distinct just from taking out the nuclear sites, what does regime change look like in Iran?
Somebody else in charge.
How do you get there?
Look, that ultimately has to be a popular uprising from the people. And it's not a complicated question. Is America better off with a country that has a leader who hates us and wants to kill us? Or to have a country with a leader who likes us and wants to be friends with us.
It's like, bro, when these idiots, when I say these idiots, I don't mean Americans. Like when these Republican idiots are like the super fucking like, do we want someone that hates us and wants to kill us, or do we want someone who wants to be our friend? Like they try to simplify politics and geopolitics into such fucking childish, stupid, fucking silly terms. Do we want someone who wants to kill us or someone who wants to be our friend? Like what are we, fucking 12 years old in a fucking in recess, bro?
Feeling like the latter's better.
Of course.
Yeah.
And so that's not a complicated statement. Look, I believe you look across the world when you have countries that have dictators that are viciously anti-America. Venezuela, Maduro hates us. Would we be better off with Maduro out of power? Absolutely. I want our enemies out of power, and I want our friends in power.
I could not agree more. The question is, how do you get there?
Of course.
We've been trying to kill Maduro for quite some time. We have troops there.
I don't know that we've been trying to kill Maduro.
Yeah, we have. And I think
Snack
you know that.
time.
And
okay, I don't know that.
Okay, well, as a statement of fact, we have. So
we do have massive sanctions. We tried to pressure him out of office.
Yeah, and there's all kinds
not
of
aware
stuff.
of.
I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure coming from various parts of the U.S. government on that government, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Same, the country of our ancestors, Cuba. 1959. We've been working on that. Hasn't worked. So I think we both agree it's hard to do.
It absolutely is hard. And look, I think you're reasonable to ask, how do we produce that? And I think there's a distinction between what your objective is and the means to get it. There are all sorts of things I would say we would be better off. We'd be better off in China without Xi there. Should we invade China and topple Xi? Of course not.
Better off with no national debt.
There are lots of things.
Totally.
But it's good to say, all right, what are our objectives?
Right.
And so with the Ayatollah in Iran, saying you're for regime change, I don't view as complicated. I mean, the guy literally leads mobs.
Nata. Right. Nata just smells or hears food. She coming. I got some leftover manusha, folks. It's a zatar pie, basically. You're interested in that tutti? It's not for you, though. You're not going to like it. No. Nope. Go back to your place. No. Go back to your seat. Yep, that's it. She sees the food. She coming. It's open. No. It is impossible to eat around her. She won't let you eat.
Chanting death to America. So that's not good.
Definitely not good. But the reason I think it's important to get a little more detailed about how that might happen is because there's military action in progress, which we're supporting. And the president has said clearly, including last night, that he is focused on eliminating the capacity of the Iranian government to produce nuclear weapons. You are saying we need to use military force to effect regime change.
I have not said that.
Oh, I must have.
No, I have not said that once. Okay. I don't think we need to use military force to do regime change. I said I support it. I would like to see it happen. You asked me how should it happen? A popular uprising. What I've advocated for.
Oh, obviously, a popular uprising. We shouldn't interfere militarily. We shouldn't interfere with our army. The popular uprising, completely organic, not started by us.
All right, let's step back a second. You and I, we've known each other a long time. I would say we agree on about 80% of the things on Earth.
For sure.
And there are a lot of things, and we can get into the nitty-gritty of foreign policy as much as you want. There are a lot of things on which you and I agree, not just a little bit, but violently.
I totally agree. I was rooting for you in your last campaign, for sure.
Well, thank you. Look, you have been heroic on the border. You've been one of the clearest and best voices in the whole country on securing the border and on the absolute crisis we're facing. And in Texas, I see it and live it every day. In COVID, in fact, you may recall, in the middle of the COVID lockdown, I was out walking my dog when the whole world was shut down and we were living in lunatic times. And I called you and said, Tucker, your nightly monologues are the single best thing on television. Like I watch them like an injection of crack. Okay, I'm mixing my metaphor because you don't inject crack, but
what? Injection of crack? By the way, fuck Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is a piece of shit. A racist, you know what I mean? All sorts of shit. But this interview right here, he had it down.
But you get what I'm saying. No, you were standing up and speaking like, what the hell are we doing, in a way that we desperately, desperately needed. And so whether it's securing the border, whether it's the insanity of COVID lockdowns and the vaccine mandates, whether it is the Second Amendment or the First Amendment, you and I agree on a ton of stuff. The 20% where we disagree, I do think is meaningful. And it's mostly in the foreign policy space. And what I would say, if you'll allow me to get a little theoretical, and then I'm happy to get specific.
Yes.
for a long time, people have perceived two different poles of Republican foreign policy. There have been interventionists, and those have been people like John McCain and Lindsey Graham, George W. Bush. And there have been isolationists. And the most prominent of those have been Ron Paul and Rand Paul, and there are others. And people perceive those are the two choices. You got to be one or the other. I've always thought both were wrong. I don't agree with either one. The way I view my own foreign policy...
I'm with you, by the way, for whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't know who set up that binary, but there are lots of choices, actually.
I mean, people sort of naturally fall into, I think they want to classify people, and they're like, okay, you're one or the other, and you got to be all or nothing. And the interventionist...
Tucker Carlson, please don't sue me for reacting to this video. If I'm not reacting hard enough, this video is not made to siphon viewers off from the Tucker Carlson show on YouTube. What's the name of the channel? By the way, folks, please, I encourage you to go on to Tucker Carlson's YouTube channel. Perhaps leave a like on his video. Subscribe to the channel. Support Tucker Carlson. You know what I mean? We're not here to steal any content. We're here to support small creators like Tucker Carlson. And certainly, I am not trying to get any income. He's already had like 4 million views, you know, or like how many views? 3 million. Jesus.
It seems have never seen a country they didn't want to invade, and that doesn't make any sense to me. And the isolationists, I think, don't take the threats to America seriously, and I think that's naive and it doesn't work. And so my view, I consider myself a third point on the triangle. And what I describe that as is that I am a non-interventionist hawk, which sounds a little weird, but what do I mean by that? I mean the central touch point for U.S. foreign policy and for any question of military intervention should be the vital national security interest of the United States. How does this make America safer? How does this protect Americans? If it does, we should be strong. And actually, another way of conceiving what I'm saying, I'm speaking theoretically, but Reagan referred to it as peace through strength. And actually, I think Donald Trump's foreign policy is very much what I'm describing, a non-interventionist hawk, where he understands that, and I think this is historically true, the best way to avoid war is being strong. That weakness and isolationism, I think, encourages war. So going back to regime change, where you started in Iran.
So just to make, I don't think I disagree with anything you've said, so we may not be that far apart, really, because you said that the single criterion for making decisions about America's foreign policy is America's national interest.
Yes.
I'm getting hungry. It's late. It's 11. I'm fucking hungry. I ordered some food last night. I ordered some dinner, and I didn't get to eat. It came with a small Caesar salad on the side, and I didn't eat it. It's going to be all soggy now and shit, but not to leave the trash bag alone. They getting hungry. They haven't been fed, to be fair, so they're going to be going crazy. All right, back to the interview, folks.
That's it.
Yeah, which is also America first. That's another way of putting that as well.
I think it's the definition of it.
Yeah.
It's hardly breaking news. The U.S. dollar has been gravely devalued by Washington money printing. You print money out of thin air, and the currency becomes weaker. You can purchase less with the same amount. The entire system is backed by nothing. This is you buy in per.com.
When old media people...
From what you've said publicly, I think on Iran in particular, you and I disagree. And, all right, let me contrast it when Obama was president. When Obama was president, you remember he talked about wanting to have military action against Syria.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I tried to keep an open mind to it. I said, okay, let me listen to the commander-in-chief, describe to me how this is in America's interest, and what your plan is. And Bashar Assad was a bad guy. He was killing his own citizens, and he had chemical weapons that were very dangerous.
He's a bad guy, folks. Bashar al-Assad was a bad guy. The Iranians all want to kill us, or they want to be our friends. That's how I view politics. Good guys and bad guys. Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Yeah, it's soggy as fuck. It's disgusting.
I could conceive of a commander-in-chief laying out a plan for, okay, we're going to go in and say, grab the chemical weapons and leave. Like, I could see that if there was a real threat to America and there was a plan to prevent that, I could see supporting that. So I wanted to hear what he had to say. And I listened both in classified briefings and public questioning. And number one, their public defense of it was incoherent. So John Kerry said, we're going to engage in an unbelievably small strike. I think that's a quote. I'm like, okay, and to do what? At the time, there were 9 major rebel Islamic groups in Syria. I'm like, okay, I agree, Bashar Assad's a bad guy. You topple him. And one of the 9 other groups takes over. 7 of them were affiliated with radical Islamic terrorism. You had Al-Qaeda and Al-Nusra. I'm like, what?
Let's play cops and robbers. Let's play cowboys and Indians. Good guys and bad guys. Yeehaw! Kitties, relax. Everybody's going crazy. Maki's climbing out. Whoa. And I dropped the salad. Chaos, folks. Chaos reigns. Nata's licking the top of the salad. No, Nata. Everybody calm down. No, Nata. No more salad. No more soggy salad. The cats have gone crazy, folks. They're licking the Caesar salad off the table. Madness. Get off the computer. Oh, they're so nice. Sorry, guys. This live chat. This live stream is going to shit. Calm down, kiddies. Look, they want my butter cookies. I just got some butter cookies. They're so interested in the butter cookies. Natutu. Natutu. Get that. And get down. Maki, get down. Both of you get down. Time to go to the kitchen. Go. Go. Go, little Natu. Go, little squeaky girl. Okay, folks, we're back. There we go. Sorry about that. Live. We're doing it live, folks.
Wait, how is it better to have lunatics who hate us in charge? Assad's a bad guy, but I don't want worse guys in charge. Obama administration couldn't give an answer to that. And ultimately, when you press them, John Kerry in particular, I pressed, and he would say, well, we need to defend international norms. What the hell's an international norm? I don't know what it is, but I'm not interested in putting U.S. servicemen and women in harm's way to defend one.
Amen.
So I opposed the Syria attack and opposed it vocally. And it was interesting. Rand and I agreed. Rand's a friend of mine, but we agreed with that position for different reasons. What I was asking is I think the question we should ask, how does this make America safer? The Obama administration couldn't give me an answer, so I opposed it. I think Iran is very different.
Let me ask what you think of how Syria wound up, because Bashar al-Assad now lives in Moscow.
Yeah.
He was taken out by our allies, and he's been replaced by a radical Islamist who was affiliated with ISIS. So is that a win or no?
Unclear. Look, Syria's a mess, so I've consistently opposed.
So we had a secular leader in a religious and ethnically diverse country. Now we have a religious extremist, Islamic religious extremist, who's overseeing the purge of Christians and Alawites. Is that better? That doesn't seem like a win.
One of the things you said is he was taken out by our allies. I don't think that's right. Israel didn't take Assad out. What happened, and I'll tell you.
What about Turkey?
Turkey didn't take him out. So it was interesting. I had a long...
How did Assad get kicked out?
Yeah. When Netanyahu was in D.C. a couple of months ago, he and I sat down for a couple of hours. He's a good friend of mine. And we talked actually about Syria. He made an...
Good friend of mine, Benjamin Netanyahu. Imagine, nightmare blunt rotation. Netanyahu, Ted Cruz, and Tucker Carlson.
Interesting point that I've not heard anywhere else, in that he said he believes what toppled Assad was when Israel took out Nasrallah. Nasrallah was the head of Hezbollah, and they took him out. And he made an interesting point. He said it's fascinating how a charismatic leader, and Bibi said, look, Nasrallah was a very effective terrorist leader. And when they took him out, that power base was supporting Assad. And that ultimately, in Bibi's analysis, removed the support from Assad and toppled him. But they weren't trying to take out Assad. My view now, I don't know.
Wait, so you don't think that, and I don't, it is very confusing, and I don't know that anyone really knows all the details, but you don't think that Israel or Turkey or NATO ally Turkey played any role in toppling Assad?
I don't know. I don't know that they did. Look, my understanding of that, they clearly took out Nasrallah and Hezbollah. They've decimated Hezbollah, but Hezbollah was waging war on them. So decimating Hezbollah was very good for Israel and very good for America, too. I mean,
what is Ted Cruz's role in the current administration? No, he's a senator. He's a Texas senator normally. But what is he doing for Trump right now? Ted Cruz administration. What is he? What the fuck is he? Chair of the Senate Commerce Committee? Okay. But what is he currently serving? Chief cockholder. What is he, bro? I have no idea, bro. Okay. I can't find it easily online.
Hezbollah hated us.
Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. Sorry, that was nasty. That was gross. That was nasty, folks. That's disgusting. Won't happen again. Final time, I promise.
I would put Assad in the category of an unintended consequence, and whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I think time will tell.
For the United States.
Yeah, for the United States. I think time will tell the new leadership there. You're right to be concerned. Let me step back and let's talk regime change generally. I mentioned Syria. I also opposed the Iraq War. I think the Iraq War was a serious mistake. And we have a pattern, and going back to this binary of the interventionist and the isolationist. The interventionists advocate over and over again. There's a bad guy. There's a dictator who's doing bad things to his people.
Oh, so he's just a senator. I thought he had a role. I thought he was appointed something in Trump's administration, like chief of something, whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, I guess he's just a senator.
And they say, let's go topple them. And you have dictators in the Middle East who are killing radical Islamic terrorists. We come in and topple them. The radical Islamic terrorists take over and they start killing Americans. In my view, how the heck does that help us? Like, Saddam Hussein was a horrible human being. He murdered and tortured people. Unequivocally bad guy. But it got much worse after we toppled him. And you ended up having ISIS rise up. I mean, that was the cause of ISIS, was toppling Saddam Hussein. Same thing in Libya. You had Gaddafi, another horrible guy, that under Obama, we toppled him. And you ended up having radical Islamic warlords taking over. And so, and it's the question I asked in Syria. Okay, well, what's the plan? And how is this good or bad for the United States? And so I don't think, with Iran, I view Iran as very different from Iraq.
But up to that point, you say we disagree. I don't hear really anything. I'm not quite sure what happened in Syria, but I don't know. So, right. But other than that, I don't hear anything I disagree with at all.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're in a complete agreement. I wonder, though, is there a successful regime change that the United States supported that you're aware of in the last 100 years?
Sure. Defeating the Soviet Union and the Soviet Union collapsing, winning the Cold War. That was the most consequential step for U.S. national security interests of our lifetimes.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna keep it 100. This interview kind of boring. I want the juicy parts. It ain't juicy enough, and it's 2 hours of this. When are we gonna get to the juicy parts? Should I just go to the tweet that has the clip? Should we just go to the clip? Fuck it, play the clip. Do we have a crazy ass? We have a crazy ass live stream for you guys tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow's gonna be good. We don't need to sit through this whole thing, unless you guys want me to in the chat. But it's hot. I'm hungry. Let me find those Ted Cruz clips on the Twitters. There's so much stuff to watch on the internet. Isn't it fun? Ooh, scroll for most replayed. Yes. How do we find out the most? How do we see the most replayed? How do they show us?
Let's get into Iran momentarily. But
oh, there we go. No.
And then I'll just ask what you mean. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look.
Why aren't they showing me the most replayed? Okay, let's just find a highlight reel.
About, and I spoke with the...
Okay, Ted Cruz. What's his name again? Tucker. Highlights. Let's just find the tweet. Sorry, guys. My ass is tired. I'm going to be honest with you guys. My ass is tired. Here, let's cut. It's not fair that only I get to see my Twitter. Here, okay, what's this?
So I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC raises a lot of money for me, but it's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. Right. So it's not the PAC itself, but they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship and relationship.
Is AIPAC a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. It's the AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action Committee.
What does it lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate. And I've worked every day to do that. AIPAC.
What? I came into Congress with the intention of being Israel's greatest defender in America? What the fuck? How is that your goal as an American senator to defend a foreign nation unless you're from there?
To be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago,
Yes.
with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the greatest defender of Israel in America. Jesus Christ, bro, you're fucking psycho.
And I've worked every day to do that. AIPAC, a lot of times, AIPAC, I wish were much more effective. Like, there are folks online who are the fever swamp of terrified of AIPAC, and AIPAC...
I'm not terrified of AIPAC at all. You're the one who seems a little uncomfortable when I'm asking.
No, not uncomfortable at all.
I'm just asking what AIPAC does. My understanding, having known a lot of people...
Tucker is such a good douchebag. He looks like a child. He looks like both like a 12-year-old boy and an old man with his like wiggly chin. It's such a fucking asshole, bro.
Is that it lobbies on behalf of the Israeli government?
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's
when was the last time AIPAC took a position that deviated from Prime Minister Netanyahu?
All the time.
Name one.
Okay. Let me go back and give a little history. If you want to do a deep dive on AIPAC...
I don't. I want to do a shallow dive that gets...
No,
I want to get to the core question. AIPAC is lobbying for a foreign government. And I don't... It's not. It's lobbying for the United States.
It is lobbying for a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship.
Okay. So it's not has nothing to do with the foreign government.
It wants America and Israel to be closely allied.
Okay, but it's
just answer the damn question, Ted Cruz.
Being on behalf of the interests of another country.
So that's not true at all. And if
it's not true.
No.
How much contact do you think AIPAC leaders have with the government of Israel?
No idea. I imagine some. I think the government of Israel is often frustrated with AIPAC because AIPAC's not nearly strong enough.
Do you think there's any coordination between the government of Israel and AIPAC?
AIPAC is arguably the most effective lobby in America. When you guys notice, like when Israel hit Iran and then Iran retaliated, every single U.S. senator that is paid by AIPAC dropped that exact same fucking copy-paste tweet. We support Israel. Israel has a right to defend herself. We condone the attacks of Iran. They are aggressive. They are attacking, like all that shit, bro. All that fucking shit right away, like clockwork.
AIPAC?
Do they talk? Sure. If you're lobbying for more U.S.-Mexico trade, would you talk to people in the U.S. and Mexico and the government? Sure.
So I'm not mad about that. There are a million countries that lobby Washington. I like a lot of those countries, including Israel.
But AIPAC are Americans. They're not Israelis.
Hold on. There are tons of Americans who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. I know them. I'm related to some of them. I know how it works. I'm from here. So my question is not, is it outrageous that foreign governments lobby the United States? They all do, okay, including Israel. My only question is, why don't we admit that is what's happening? You're denying it, but it's true.
Yeah,
and why aren't they...
Marina Nimitz sends $2 and says they need to liberate Hawaii and take Israel. Oh man, dude, I would seriously, right? Leave Hawaii alone. Leave the poor people of Hawaii alone. They are so sick of you fucking tourists going to their land, taking all the good beachfront property. You know what I mean? You're not letting these Hawaiians, these locals, go to their own fucking beaches. Leave them alone. Give them their land back. Go to Israel. Take Israel. Make that a... But it's already a 51st state. It's already basically an American state. And do we want more? Marina, think about it. Do we want more people from New Jersey coming here to our area, to our region?
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't...
This is the crazy viral one. This is the one. This is the one.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
how could you not know that?
I don't sit around.
Again, Tucker's an asshole, but like he's such a in this situation he's such a he's the asshole we need in this case. You know what I mean? He's a little Weasley, little brat. Oh, how'd you not know that? How'd you not know that? He's so insulting, kind of. You know what I mean? Trying to get under Ted Cruz's skin. Normally, this is repulsive behavior, but in this case, it's doing some good. It's exposing how uneducated, how uninformed these American leaders in positions of power, these politicians that we elect, how fucking dumb and clueless they are. And they just fucking make these decisions, these gigantic decisions with massive global impact that affect millions upon millions and billions of people potentially. Motherfucker doesn't even know how many people live in the country that he wants to invade.
Around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay, this is cute.
It's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay,
actually,
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who don't know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything.
So the way Tucker, his delivery of this line, He's like, you're asking about the country. You don't know anything about the country. I can't even do it, bro. I can't even do it. He has such a specific face. His face when he says that, bro, is insane.
Senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything.
My God,
Senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country.
You're better look.
You're the one who claims.
You're
the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims that
his face is getting so red. He's so red, like, you know what I mean? He's loving this shit. He's loving it.
The government.
You're the one who
don't know
claims
anything about the country.
No,
you don't know anything about the country.
You don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out
I'm
if it was
saying
a good
you don't
idea to kill
believe-
General Soleimani, and you
don't
said it was bad.
believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation.
Elab sends 249 euros. The worst man I know is making a great point. I know. Like the fact that we're out here rooting for fucking Tucker Carlson. What happened to the world, folks? It's when they killed Harambe. You know what I mean? Everything fell on its head. We out here fucking cheering for Tucker Carlson because he's the only one actually behaving like a fucking journalist and actually asking difficult, not even difficult questions, but like he's trying to expose these people. Every other fucking journalist, it's constantly puff pieces. Lay up fucking answers, easy answers, not challenging the politicians. This is what journalism is supposed to be. It ain't supposed to be any of that shit. I got a message from James from Uninformed Leftist, folks. Our boy Uninformed Leftist. I'll respond to you in a second, James. I shouldn't forget to let me screenshot this. My boy, I'll send him a voice note. All right, let's go back.
And if you really believe
we're
that,
carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here.
Because
you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that,
carrying out military. You don't know anything.
The whole thing that Iran tried to kill Trump is so fucking stupid, bro. Like, they would have fucking nuked Iran the next fucking day. Are you kidding me? If Iran actually tried to kill either a sitting U.S. president or someone trying to become president, bro, they would have nuked Iran off the face of the earth the next fucking day. So the fact that Americans are like, oh, they tried to kill President Trump. If that's fucking true, you're making America look like the weakest fucking, most bitch-ass fucking country on the planet. If a foreign nation actually tried to kill your president and this was your response, waiting months before then just bombing 3 of their nuclear sites, that is fucking pathetic, bro. That is because Iran had nothing to do with these fucking weirdos that tried to kill fucking Trump, bro. It's not like America has a lack of fucking murderers and mass shooters, bro. Check your fucking news. Every fucking day there's like 12 high schools that are getting shot up. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, you don't need foreign nations to try to kill your own people, man. You're doing a great job of that yourselves.
Anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
who can't figure out
I'm
if it was a
saying
good
you
idea to
don't
kill
believe-
General Soleimani, and you said it was
don't
bad.
believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe
we're
that,
carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not
at all.
bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Again, his face. People are listening. People are listening. He's so gleeful about it, bro. And why does he have like a herpy on his lip?
Thanks. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
His face. Oh my God, bro.
At war with Iran right now.
Look at this. People are listening.
Supporting
This is
Israel.
high stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
He's such a fucking douche. He's such a dick, but this is good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Get him, Tucker. Get him. Get him. I mean, these are the two main clips. Oh, we were gonna sit through 2 hours for these. That wasn't worth it.
Do you think that it's just interesting because what you're now describing in a very defensive way, I will say, is foreign influence over our politics.
No.
And you began, and it's so transparently obvious to everybody. I don't know why you'd be embarrassed of it. You said that you are sincerely for Israel. I believe you. I don't think you have some weird agenda. You seem to be sincere.
By the way, Tucker, it's a very weird thing. The obsession with Israel. When we're talking about foreign countries,
hardly an obsession.
You're not talking about Chinese. You're not talking about Japanese. You're not talking about the Brits. You're not talking about the French. The question: what about the Jews? What about the Jews?
Oh, I'm an anti-Semite now. Senator, you're asking.
What about the Jews? Oh, he made it. Ted Cruz is going there, huh? Ted Cruz is making it about the Jews. God damn.
You just told me. You're asking why are the Jews controlling our foreign policy?
Senator,
That's what you just asked.
Hardly saying that, and I have.
That is exactly what you just said.
Well, actually, I can speak for myself and tell you what I am saying.
Good.
On behalf not simply of myself, but of my many Jewish friends who would have the same questions, which is to what extent, and it's interesting.
Let's go back. This is
to
good
everybody.
stuff right here.
Foreign influence over our politics.
No.
And you began, and it's so transparently obvious to everybody. I don't know why you'd be embarrassed of it. You've said that you are sincerely for Israel. I believe you. I don't think you have some weird agenda. You seem to be sincere.
By the way, Tucker, it's a very weird thing. The obsession with Israel. When we're talking about foreign countries,
hardly an obsession.
You're not talking about Chinese. You're not talking about Japanese. You're not talking about the Brits. You're not talking about the French. The question: what about the Jews? What about the Jews?
Pulling an Ethan Klein, folks. What about the Jews? This is anti-Semitic. I mean, look, I have no doubt that Tucker Carlson is probably anti-Semitic or has said anti-Semitic things in the past, like a lot of his ilk. But I mean, you know.
Oh, I'm an anti-Semite now.
Senator, you're asking the question, Tucker. You're asking why are the Jews controlling our foreign policy?
Senator,
That's what you just asked.
Hardly saying that, and I have.
That is exactly what you just said.
Well, actually, I can speak for myself and tell you what I am saying.
Good.
On behalf not simply of myself, but of my many Jewish friends who would have the same questions, which is to what extent, and it's interesting you're trying to derail my questions by calling me an anti-Semite, which you are.
I did not.
Of course you are. And rather than be honorable enough to say it right to my face, you are in a sleazy, feline way implying it, or just asking questions about the Jews. I'm not asking questions about the Jews. There's nothing to do with Jews or Judaism. It has to do with the foreign government.
Isn't Israel controlling our foreign policy? That's not about the Jews.
You said, I'm asking.
I mean, what a trump card. Like, I mean, if Israel is controlling your foreign policy because they're Jews, we can't talk about them. Like, Saudi Arabia did that. Are you insulting Muslims? No, but Saudi Arabia is mostly Muslims. Then you can't fucking make those arguments, bro. Stop it with the stupidity.
By the way, you're the one that just called me, I think, a sleazy feline. So let's be clear.
It's sleazy to imply that I'm an anti-Semite, which you just did.
No, I just said, why is that the only question you're asking? You answer it. Give me another reason. If you're not an anti-Semite, give me another reason why the obsession is Israel.
I am in no sense obsessed with Israel. We are on the brink of war with Iran, and so these are valid questions.
If you're not an anti-Semite, tell me why you hate Israel.
But you're not asking about Iran.
If I can finish, you asked me why I'm obsessed with Israel.
Yep.
3 minutes after telling me that when you first ran for Congress, you elucidated one of your main goals, which is to defend Israel.
Yes.
And I'm the one who's obsessed with Israel. I don't see a lawmaker's job as defending the interests of a foreign government, period. Okay. Any government, including the ones that my ancestors come from. So that's my position. That does not make me an anti-Semite. And shame on you for suggesting otherwise, and I mean that.
Good job, Tucker. I threw up in my mouth for saying that a little bit. 1 second. We're okay. Had to say it. Well, anyways, that's that for that interview, folks. I don't want to watch more. We did it. We made it happen. Finally, 4 tries, 3 tries. We watched the best of the best. What do we do? Willy Mac. You said Willy Mac talked about me. When did Willy Mac mention me, folks? What did Willy boy? Willy Mac boy? Willy.
Earlier this week, we got
when
to
did
the
Willy
charges
drop his last video? Little Willy. Ooh. 3 days ago, so this one. Ethan Klein just ended Hassan's career. Look at these people glazing Ethan, bro. I got so used to people shitting on Ethan on the internet. It's so weird to me when people glaze him like that. Like, look at that thumbnail. You know what I mean? So fucking weird. So pathetic. Okay, let's take it. Let's just take a quick look, say.
Covering the most empathetic people on YouTube, we got Milhouse, who hates on a woman who was a
shitting on the
child bride.
What the fuck is wrong with you fucking crazy ass bitch? I'm sorry, folks. I had to call. The word came out, folks. I'm sorry. If I had a button, that's funny, bro. Come on, you're gonna get me on this. That's one of my best lines ever. She went from a child bride to an adult bitch. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not the most tasteful, but I think it works perfectly. You know what I mean? Very nice. And she is kind of a, I mean, okay, using the B word to describe a woman is fucked up, but she's a horrible person. I don't give a fuck. She's been through, it's not that I don't give a fuck. I'll talk about this on another video. Fuck it. We'll do a whole live stream about it. Fuck you, Willy Mac. I'm coming for that ass, boy. Boring ass, boy. But I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? It's bad that she was a child bride, but having trauma as a child does not excuse you from being a piece of shit as an adult. That's where I was getting at. But these people can't get humor. You know what I mean? You'd think they used to get goofs and gaffs on the H3 podcast. Apparently, they've forgotten how to laugh. They've forgotten how to have fun. But is that it? Is that the only thing he said about me? Or is that just in the intro? He used me in the intro to keep viewers hooked? That'd be fucking crazy, bro. You know what they say? You want to get Gen Z to watch your video? You got to get them within that first 5 seconds, folks. And here I am, 3 seconds in. 5 seconds in. Oh, it's literally just the first 5 seconds. It's not worth talking about if that's just it. Oh, that might just be it. Fuck it, let's watch it. If that's it, then that's not enough. I fucking hate these people. They're horrific. These people are horrific. This couple is a horrible couple. I don't give a f she was a child bride, bro.
He doesn't know if anything she said was false, by the way. He's just crashing out because he hates Ethan.
Oh, look, good pause right here, huh? Look at that. I was a child bride. Again, I memean, it's very sad to be a child bride, but to grow up to be an adult bitch. Sorry about that. Ooh, you went from child bride to adult piece of shit. So, f you and your story. Let's.
Noah Samsen's been spending his.
Bro, come on, man. That shit's funny. Thank you for posting my dubs, bro. Thank you for posting my dubs, Willy Mac. If anyone thinks I have any regrets for saying that, by the way, like that shit was funny as fuck. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? A little bit offensive, but kind of funny. Willy Mac boy. She was a child bride. She can't be wrong. That's true. You know what I mean? Never question child brides. Anyways, folks, I thought there was more to this. I thought I would be more, Willy Mac would include me more in his video. Willy, you've disappointed me, Willy. You've disappointed me, Willy. Folks, I'm excited about tomorrow's live stream. Honestly, I'm going to be picking up the PC tomorrow. Picking up the PC. We'll hopefully begin to assemble it. And then, well, I mean, it's already assembled. Just assemble it. I mean, plugging it into the power. Getting a whole new UPS battery for it. We're going to have like 3 fucking batteries in this room to power everything once we lose power. Computer tomorrow. Celebrity Zionist tier list. That is happening tomorrow with Nour, Karine, and maybe Elijah. 4 of us having a good time. Some other movie news that we're going to be talking about. Let me give you guys a small taste of the movie news we're going to be talking about tomorrow. Some of the topics that I've been putting on the side. Tom Cruise is going to be handed an honorary Oscar for stunts. Danny Boyle said that he would not be able to make Slumdog Millionaire today because it's an Indian story about Indians, and he says that doing that in 2025 would be like irresponsible, and that if they wanted to make that story, it would have to be made by Indians. Do I agree about that? Do I not agree? Punisher is joining the new Spider-Man movie. They're making a new Harold and Kumar movie, folks. Harold and Kumar are coming back to theaters, and the Star Wars Rey movie has been paused indefinitely. And once we're done talking about these topics, we're going to get on to the tier list with some of your favorites like Amy Schumer, Simu Liu, Mandy Moore, Haley Steinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld, David Schwimmer, Tom York, Borat, Bill Maher, Caitlyn Jenner, and more. It's going to be a fun episode. Tune in tomorrow. And then Wednesday might be off. I'll take Wednesday off, and then I'll stream Thursday and Friday or something like that. Anyways, folks, if you'd like to support this little itty-bitty independent Lebanese YouTube channel, you can do so on Patreon. You can look through the link below and pick a tier that's right for you. We got a number of tiers, folks. $5, $8 a month, $20 a month, and $50 a month. You can also support the channel by becoming a member of the channel, folks, or by gifting memberships. That always helps. You can also engage in the super chat, but you don't have to do any of those things to support us, folks. You can very simply like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, become a Do Not Warrior, and we will be forever grateful. I will see you guys tomorrow for a very fun live stream. Very excited about that. Thank you for joining us tonight for this impromptu little fun stream. Mang0, folks. Mang0. I'm gonna go binge some Mang0 videos. Mang0's greatest hits on Mario Kart. I hope everybody has a good night wherever in the world you are. Here in the Middle East, over there in Europe, or in these United States of America. Have a good night, everybody. Love you, and as always, do not worry. W's in the chat for Haley D. Gifting 5 memberships right. Coming in clutch at the last very second, folks. We're always going to read your super chats, no matter what, folks. You guys want to keep this live show going? Keep sending in chats. I will stop the credits. I will pop back in and thank you. So thank you so much, Haley. Very generous. Congratulations to everybody who's a member. See you all next time. And as always,
do not worry.